questions on, please let me know. Speak. All right, we're going to start off with Public Works. Paula?
Go ahead.
Oh, thank you, Paula. So if you turn your stapled packet on that first page there, first both sides here, you will see the quote I got from Intech regarding cameras in the park and at the water plants, a total of $3,407. This will take care of, well, basketball courts, the restroom slash community garden, and East Park playground. So this will help alleviate some of the issues we have with vandalism going on out there. That's pretty much it. I mean, I would like to get council's views on this, and if they would like to proceed with this, then give me authorization maybe even next week during council, and I will go forward with the vote. Please discuss.
Oh, I'm sure you looked it over. Any remarks you want to enlighten us on?
Well, I think with our recent vandalism that we've had here in the last couple months, I think it's a good idea. I think it's needed.
We've talked about it for years. Let's pull the trigger and get it done.
Okay. Mr. Richmond, any thoughts?
I agree with Bill. I think it's time we pull the trigger, get it done. Get the cameras up and.
How's the data stored?
Data stored. I'll be able to access it just like I can access these cameras.
Okay, like cloud based.
It's based. I think they save it directly to our server or into another external drive. Intech can get into technicalities on that one. But it is saved, and I can't access it. It's 3 months. And usually stuff is backed up, actual recordings that need them further back.
Getting power to the cameras, so you already have power where you're putting them?
Yes, to my knowledge and to Intech's knowledge, there is power already in those locations. The main issue was just maybe to pay for what's in here. It's fancy name for them. But basically, getting the Wi-Fi signal or just internet access, to them is the main thing. Probably put it in price even. But
I know when we talked about them before, it was, and Josh probably maybe remembers a little bit about that, but there was where I think they were planning on putting them, they were going to have to run power to the cameras, and that was going to be another cost. So I just wanted to make sure we was.
Yeah, I think where we located them, there's power already there. Run into issues, obviously, will come out. So it's a minor detail.
No, that's just more. Think about it.
Yes, yes. I know the previous quotes I've seen from way before the file I opened up, they did have those costs included in those quotes.
So is this within budget, or can it do? So we need to take action next week, or can it just fall afterward?
See if we need to do something now or not.
Yes, that's kind of my main hold up. That's kind of my main hold up right now, to make sure we have the money. I mean, at the very least, I think we could even wait until 2026. But again, probably will be more vandalism in the meantime, so I don't want to get ahead of that too.
So these aren't monitored in live time. These are things to go back and review if we have vandalism. Is that correct?
I can monitor them in live time, but I mean, I have better things to do. The police, the chief of police, myself, and the mayor all have access to these cameras. I just recently gave the access back to the chief. Apparently, was taken from him a couple years ago, for whatever reason. He doesn't know why. But he has access again, and I can go to any of these cameras. There's also cameras over the recycling bins over there at the by the water plant.
It's not something that we could put maybe a monitor over at dispatch, just so that, I mean, they would.
There is that too. That separate quote I've looked into before. I was trying to get this done. It's more of a priority, but there has been talks about putting an additional camera outside the dispatch and having a monitor with the lobby, those 2 cameras on that monitor, showing full time live all the time. But we can also add obviously other cameras picking up the camera playground or switch them if 2 monitors.
Are these the same cameras at the recycle bins?
I can't say they're the same one, the most
Same
they
company?
could be, but same company, yes.
Okay, and those, if we've had any issues, the picture quality and everything's good?
Oh, yeah, I'm very pleased.
Even
with
at
it.
night?
Yes, I think there was one, let's see if we included that one. Trying to read all this jargon. I think you did
I believe the one about the water plant will also capture license plates.
Yeah.
Good, good.
Yeah, they activate by motion for the most part, and then you can just go from there and they records those.
I would like, just personally, I would like you to check in to see what it would cost to have it monitored, like have a monitor over at dispatch.
Yeah, I already have an old quote, it's expired, but I can definitely get you guys with that.
Okay.
It was like $1,400 for a camera and the monitor. Hookup and all that.
And will we put up any more signs advertising the fact that it's all monitored in the park? Or will that be, do you think that's
I don't know if
necessary?
necessary or not, we could.
I mean, that helps detail.
It'd definitely be a deterrent.
Right.
Yeah. Good, yeah. You're being watched type of thing.
We
So
put-
don't
we
mess
put
with our
'em
new
up-
playground equipment.
We put them up in our church.
God's watching you.
Yeah.
All the time.
So I'm looking at the previous quote, it was actually about, let's see here, $845 for a monitor for the police department to watch, well, those live, but also the digital camera out there, because one shows south down Main Street. I want
But that
one-
would take care of the park too?
No, that was just the street for the monitor.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
you're talking about the live feed going to that monitor, I'll say that would be a problem.
I don't know if anyone else thinks that'd be a good idea, but
I can update this quote also, or maybe bunch it all together with this quote.
Well, we've got people there. We'll use them.
So I will, I'll do just that, I will try to get this quote combined with this quote and get you one big old number and go from there. I should be able to get it by my council, I think.
And then you got Damon Field purchase here.
Yeah, 1 second.
First of all, was there any other questions on the
Yes.
park and water cameras? Okay, then we'll move on to the next.
Okay, next up is the Damon Field purchase, ordinance 2025-15. Is item 2 in the packet, on page 5 through 7, and it looks so nice because I use the software that we've been talking about. Yeah, I like the page numbering and all that. So, Damon Field purchase, we talked about before, obviously. I think council has had some questions, some hiccups on getting this through emergency. I wasn't sure if, well, first off, if we want to try emergency again at the next meeting, or we want to, again, do another reading. I'm just trying to get council's understanding on that. So,
Well, I want to speak on it.
please.
Okay. Number one, we want to talk about this in order to build a building. We don't build anything. I've been sitting here for 7 years. We haven't built squat. Right next to his building, we talked about putting a building, put a garage up. There's nothing there. We couldn't even build restrooms and showers out here for our EMS. We don't build anything. So why buy this? Why spend $120 to do nothing? Before my time, we bought that property there in front of the reservoir, which I walked over last night, walked over the whole thing. That was supposed to have a building for trucks and stuff. We love the building that's out there. I think it's beautiful. It's totally transparent, you know, no problem walking around in it. We don't build anything. We don't. And when I brought it up, many times, I hear the same thing. Bill, where are you gonna get the money? Well, now we can get the money for a building that we haven't been able to for umpteen years. It's stupid. It's just absolutely stupid. But we don't build anything. These guys still don't have a shower for when they come in from an EMS run. I mean, it just drives me nuts. And when we went through the thing about the field before, we sat here and we said we don't want a building there, which would be an eyesore to the residents that live around that thing. And now we come back and say we do. You know, this thing is just, in my opinion, and I am unanimous in that, it's just dumb, because we don't build. We never get it done. We never pull the trigger. So why do we go out and spend $120,000 extra to buy a piece of property? And we've got that nice property sitting right out there on 18. Now, there was an argument given that if we're gonna have something there for the health department people, and I talked to one of them today, that would be better for people to use than if we say had it on 18, because they could walk to it. Okay. Well, right, I gotta get my bearings here. That way, at the back of the west table, they had that building that they were already using, which has a kitchen, office, restrooms. All they'd have to do is stretch it. It's got a nice parking lot, which is a fair chunk of change to put in a parking lot. It's right there. Use that one.
I believe the health department already looked into that. They might have discussed that actually when they came here.
But
But
the-
they looked into it, was not to the specs they needed.
Well, no,
How
so
many would they want?
add on to it, because it's gonna cost a whole lot more to build a fresh building there for their purpose, put in a parking lot for it and all that stuff, than it would be to just adapt that, add on to it.
Well, and the thought process is having more grants and loans and maybe bonds even that can be used for the building actually over there.
But here-
And I gotta state that even though we haven't built in the past, doesn't mean we can't build in the future. And we kinda have to build in the future because, I mean, look around this building, we're kinda growing at the seams. We were
Well,
running out of parking.
You're on my
Normal
next
days.
point. We got standing room only in the offices up there, you know, and I think we're just about ready to start parking people on each other's laps, you know, but we don't build. And I brought it up, and I brought it up, and I brought it up. So, I don't think we should buy this property at all.
Understood. I do wanna state, I mean, obviously 120,000, I think, everyone agrees, it's kinda high.
Mm-hmm.
I wish it was lower. But I think the expansion of the park is a pretty dang good benefit. That an opportunity that doesn't come about probably ever, especially with this park. It's kind of the only opportunity we have outside of maybe a few homes that can be added in due time, but why? It's only a few acres at that. So I think alone that would be a good benefit, just to increase our parking, put new, we can do a whole bunch of stuff with that. Rules are oyster on that one. So, but also, I'd like to get conceptual designs done at the very least for, yes, the public health department, but also the public works building. Obviously, I need to get the public's input, whether it be surveys, whether it be door-to-door knocking, whatever it takes to make sure that those residents would like to see what's on that property when they go out their front door. So, there still needs to be a lot of preliminary work done here. For all I know, we buy the property and then we just go forward with a bunch of shelter houses, maybe a splash pad, I don't know. Again, we can get creative with it after the fact. And I know it's kind of chicken before the egg kind of thing, and we got $120,000 is a lot, but I can't promise you anything. I can't promise you that we're going to help public health department. I can't promise you that we're going to get a public works building there, but I think, again, there is a benefit. I see the benefit, and I think we can, probably should proceed, and please.
What's the process on voting on this, one, and then two, we need to be, I heard a lot of ifs,
Yes.
and let's buy it first and wait. I think we need to be good stewards of the village's money, and I don't think that's being a good steward of the village money. If the Wood County Health Department wants to build a building, I think that's great. The Wood County Health Department should buy some land and build a building. I don't think we should be their landlord or expand a park. We have a lot of land currently that we can utilize. I think we've been having some discussions about water department, public works, EMT, fire department, and there's a lot of other solutions. So I think we need to, whatever the process is for voting, see how it stands and move on and not spend money on conceptual drawings and things
The
like
vote
that.
has to be through an ordinance.
Yeah.
It has to be an ordinance.
Okay.
That's what the vote is.
Okay. I know we voted once on it, that was just to not make it an emergency.
I believe so, just a reading at that point. Yes.
Okay, understood. Okay,
Yes.
thanks.
So I can make it just another reading after this for August, or I can make it emergency again if I think I have the votes, obviously. Whatever council decides I should do, I will do.
I still like the idea of people buying those plots, and if they're not selling, that's not my problem. That's who he lists it with. You know, when I need to sell something, okay, a couple weeks ago, bought my wife a car, she didn't like it. Wouldn't even sit in the driver's seat. 2 words, yes dear, you know. Well, I put that thing where I knew it would sell, sold it that afternoon. Well, what, if he can't sell that property, that's his problem.
What are you pointing at me?
Well, it's,
Oh, I wasn't, I meant,
it's been his problem for, what, 3 years now? And it's this middle field, which kind of blends in with the park, so it's nice.
yeah.
But there's no property taxes.
But these gentlemen need a building to put their vehicles in.
Yes.
We've got property. I think we need to get busy and get these.
What property, Bill?
They're in front of the reservoir.
In front of the reservoir?
Well,
Isn't that Mr. Roberts' property?
Which I've offered to give to the village.
Yep.
yeah, but I do not like our public works department by the reservoir, because that's not where all their work is. Most of their work is in the park. The logistics of constantly moving their stuff from the reservoir to the park would just be a pain in the butt. Whether right now they're perfectly positioned in the park. They're basically our Parks and Rec department in many ways to take care of, again, the park, and also easier access to.
Well, it takes us back to the discussions we've had before, which would be the south end of the west side building of your drive-in there. Whether that's still a viable option?
I don't believe, well, it depends on what we're gonna be doing as, public utilities. If we're looking to expand, upgrade our facilities, that property is gonna be needed for water. And then also, I believe the last kind of drawings that we had done, the whole street department's gone. That building's being torn down and another building being put up there.
The old brick one?
Yes, so they're not gonna have a home.
I guess my only other thought would be to, I'm sorry.
If I can.
Yes, please.
How long has the Public Works Department been around? No, I'm just asking. Somebody want to entertain me on that?
Years and years and years. Well, it
Since
used to
day
be
one,
called,
right?
used to be called the street department, but.
Right? Have you ever had a building?
Not to my, well, long before any of our times it burnt down, it was up here.
Right.
So since then, no.
So you would say that since day one, we've been basically doing a disservice to the community, right?
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Right? I understand where you're coming from, Bill, and I appreciate your opinion. Yours too. But we may have not built up to this point, but this body has not sat here up until this point. What happened before? Shame on them. We're not doing anything. We're not being able to collectively come together and make something happen. And that's what it comes down to. Right? So you want it on 18, somebody else wants it out by the cemetery, I want it by the park, Josh wants it by the park. I think it needs to be by the park. There's nothing wrong with having public works and a community building there at the park. Nothing wrong with it at all. And then to have emergency services on that side of the tracks. And that's one of the big things that you guys are missing. The whole point is to get emergency services on that side of the tracks. All it's gonna take is one person to die over there because they can't get across the tracks, right? Fortunately for me, I live on the north side of the tracks. They might even be able to make it to me unless the road's all closed. Right? They're gonna have to come in the alley, right? But the people on the south side, they're not that fortunate. They don't have, if they actually thought about it, I would be scared to live on that side of the tracks. To think that they couldn't save my house from burning down, or save one of my loved ones from having a catastrophic medical event, right? And that's what it's all about. The benefits are we're going to get the park and street department at the park, where there should be. A constant police presence, which will cut down the vandalism in the park and make sure that everything's safe out there, along with our new camera system. And then give us more office space. If we don't get the health department to move in, right? You're saying we're getting too small, too big for this building, right?
No, this thing's ridiculous.
Well, there you go. So we move it down there. Doesn't have to be on Main Street. Doesn't have to be right here.
Well, why, good points. So why do we need, because the things we do are mow the park. So why can't that whole operation be there in front of the reservoir? Josh's whole operation. Because the old building's coming down anyway, the brick. That was supposed to be replaced how many years ago?
I don't know, what's the date on that thing?
It should probably be down.
1887?
Yeah.
1883?
Well, now, and this is totally out of ignorance that I'm asking this. That spot that building's on, then what will that be used for if we tear that down?
End up being a pump station, pump house.
Okay.
Newer clear wells have to be installed, which would be much larger than what we have right now.
Do you think there's a way to incorporate the building if we extend the property northeast, like where the Rotary building currently stands?
That all floods.
Yeah, we talked about that.
Will it not flood after a stormwater project gets completed?
Yeah, it will, because creek.
Yeah.
You could build it up.
The creek.
Put a ski hill, you could build up the
Can
property.
we incorporate it in the stormwater project, getting that part clear? Let's say it's cleared out for this, whatever project.
The problem with building that up is then you have to remove dirt from somewhere else. So if you build an area up, you have to make that same area available for floodwaters.
Does the stud hill need to be so big?
And Hancock Wood ran into that problem when they put their spec building up.
Okay.
Because the creek floods, so that's why they had those one big retention pond, and then their other retention pond.
I hear you.
Is because they had to build that up, so by building that up, they had to actually make a huge pond, so when the creek does overflow, it has somewhere to go instead of people's properties.
But did that even factor in with sheets, because they put in a pond area?
Well, that's for their stormwater runoff.
Yeah.
Well, is that in a floodplain?
Anytime you have.
What's that?
Is that in a floodplain?
They're getting awfully close to the flood.
Yes, yes.
Because if you disturb the floodplain, then you have to.
Correct.
what
Yeah,
you're
that whole
saying,
area
you
is
have
in
to
the
put
floodplain,
something
correct.
right. So
Yes.
whatever you disturb, you have to put somewhere else.
Correct.
But this is good discussion, because we need a direction, and then we need to follow.
Okay, well, I think the person, I think the best way to go forward, correct me if I'm wrong, please, is maybe another special council, not special meeting, but a committee meeting regarding game field / the public works building. Is that a better place to discuss this in more detail?
Well, we do have, we have a
I'm sure you'll
resource.
get Paula.
We have a resource here I don't think we should not tap. And that is, we have at least one resident, or is there
We have
two?
three.
3 residents that live right there at the old football field.
I would be very interested to hear their thoughts. Do you want a public works building next to your house?
Not in
No.
my front yard.
Yeah. What would you guys like to see at that property?
Well, if
Houses?
well,
Thank you.
you have.
Houses, what else?
We would like to see homes. I mean, I came in front of this board when it was previously purchased, and there was the thought of purchasing it by the village. I came and I was assured with these new deed restrictions that we were gonna get some beautiful homes into that residential neighborhood with the park. And they're selling it for too much. That's their businessman, that's their choice. I don't wanna see a pole barn in my front yard. And I say that knowing my father owns a pole barn in town that somebody looks at, so I do apologize to them. But that's not what I want. And then I look at the building y'all own out on Old 25, and that yard is full of crap. Okay, I found out you're renting it. I didn't know the village was in the business of renting property.
That's owned by the water department, ma'am.
Okay, so, but it's owned by the village. The water department is a village entity.
Yeah, technically, yes and no. The water department gets its funds from water bills, not taxpayer money.
Right.
Water bills.
But I paid that water bill.
Correct, but that was for a purpose, and that was for future growth, so that's why that
But
property
you're
was
renting it, right?
purchased.
I didn't know it was being rented, and there's a lot of stuff, we'll call it stuff,
Yep.
in that yard, and I'm like, oh my gosh, is that what's gonna be in front of my home? because I thought it was still owned and completely, you know, used by the village. And so I'm very concerned about this. You know, what's gonna happen to our property values if we have a pole barn in our front yard? Because you say we don't build, we don't build. We do have that property in front of the reservoir. In fact, the village owns a page and 3/4
Wow.
of property according to the auditor. Now, I realize these are a variety of properties, not
75
all
of those
used.
are in the park, maybe more.
Not all, actually they're all over, not all used, and some of them are earmarked for other things. But so I can't believe that in this list, which I found a few, which were larger properties that are not currently being used, how those would not be appropriate locations for these. I understand you want lawnmowers at the park, totally get it. You gotta mow the park.
I don't understand.
So that I want, but you have a shed at the park. Is that even any use any longer, that old garage behind the dumpster?
Yes.
Okay, so could that be added onto for your
That's,
mowing equipment?
can't build nothing down there, that's all the floodplain.
That's the rotary building I was talking
I
about.
understand, but that's there and you use it, so could it not come one way or the other? No, okay. So, but is there potentially another way? Is there another location? As a resident, I cannot support, you know, just putting up. I agree, I would love to have EMS on my side of town. Thankful that there was a volunteer fire department at my neighbor's house when my garage burned, who started putting out the fire. So I recognize that need, but I question the location, and I question the cost. These are listed, and you're asking to pay 25% above what the auditor says the totality of these properties should be. 25%. I understand the auditor values things low, totally understand that, but 25% seems a little high for a blank piece of property. So
That's hard to, the last part you just said there was hard to disagree with. I think everyone here agrees 120,000 is high. Yeah, I get you.
The problem is, it's not a blank piece of property. We have all the infrastructure there we need for that.
they're
building.
available to be tapped into.
That's
They're
right.
not already
And-
tapped.
But there's other places that we were talking about putting the building that we would have to bring that infrastructure to, which would be way more expensive than us buying that property.
I don't know.
Brian, can I ask you a question?
Yes, sir.
Our property on 18, is there water, sewer,
Yes.
and electric?
Yes.
Is that property all along the road?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else want, any of my other two
No, I mean,
neighbors?
this is my first meeting, and Cindy has done so much research and shared with me, and I live 2 doors down from her, and I certainly wouldn't want this as a first choice for the village, if at all possible, either. Mainly because of the value of our homes and our view, and, you know, the park is lovely to look at, and,
Yes.
I think it would, you know, do a disservice to the homeowners. Again, I agree with a lot of what you said.
Don't you think, though, if residential homes go up there, it's gonna block your view?
Well, I would much rather look at a lovely home or, you know, anything like that, absolutely, more than
Then what?
whatever building may be put up that serves the
Then
public.
the pole barn?
Well, I don't, yeah, because I
We're
just.
not putting up a pole
I know
barn.
you're not putting up a pole barn, but are you really gonna put up something that's aesthetically pleasing to a homeowner?
We'll make it look pretty for you.
That was the plan.
It's very costly to do that, and we don't have money. The citizens voted down the levy in November, and it did include money for the park in that. So, you know, the citizens said no to that in November, so now I'm very confused by where all this money is coming from.
Just an opportunity that's presented itself, and just deliberating on how to best proceed. I will say, going back to what you said about the properties we own, again, a lot of those properties that we own need to be consolidated, because again, the park by itself has at least 75 plus parcels. It should be like 7. Seriously. One of the things I'm trying to work on very slowly but surely.
Yeah, some have no.
Yes, and
No.
we can definitely sit down and go over through the auditor's website in front of us, all the parcels we own, and I don't think we have a clear answer to where to put this building. That's why we're trying to be creative here. That's why we're talking about buying the Damon property. So.
Have we ever looked into the old high school property there? And
That would, I
there's
mean.
been sitting there empty for.
I would say there's more residents around that parcel, those parcels, and it would probably have the same negative comments That's kind of the best word for it, but the same thing you're saying about not wanting to have a pole barn, public works building in front of you, I think we'll have even more people say it.
Really?
Well, I would,
No, the old high school,
Right, which was on Old 18.
Yeah, State Street.
State.
Yeah.
It's only half
and
of
you
it's
got the
available.
railroad there. I
well,
mean-
half is owned by Protect Rentals, the other half is owned by
Right.
that,
Yeah, so,
already.
I don't know that they're doing
Right,
any,
right.
Rentals isn't doing anything with it right now, so.
Yeah, they're not, unfortunately. But, I mean, I guess we won't know unless we ask the residents, so I guess our.
We
I
have
think we
three
have-
of them right here that's got a
Yeah.
major
Well,
concern on
of course,
that.
these residents too. But I'm
But
talking about the
it
residents
is a
as whole.
difference between
Those residents more so than-
those homes down there and these homes over here too. I mean, I'm
Right,
just
yes.
saying, I mean, this is the
Right.
nicer
Yes.
neighborhood down there.
Well, the one on State Street does have a beautiful, unobstructed view of the railroad tracks.
Yes, it does.
I am being facetious.
But it does.
It's
I guess we do have time. I mean, I've been on the market for 3 years. No houses were sold. I guess we do have more time to do more due diligence, maybe do a survey even, to get perspectives of, especially the perspective of residents such as yourselves. And in this case also, if we want to also include that survey, residents around the former high school property, I don't see a problem doing that.
Well, that's not even for sale. That's owned.
Protect Rentals is not doing anything with it, so
Correct.
there might be an opportunity there. I have reached out to them in the past. They haven't given me a number, but they basically said pretty much anything's for sale. I think were the exact words used. That was a couple months ago when I looked at it for some other reason. So, but again, if council wants to continue with the readings, we can go on to the third reading if you'd like, and we can just vote it, and if the council votes no, then I will drop it until we do more due diligence, so I'll start doing that now, as quickly as possible. Just kind of asking for direction, I guess you could say at this point.
Well, we can't vote on it now. like-
Oh, we can't vote on it now, no.
No. We'll just continue to read it.
You need to read?
Yep.
Okay. No emergency.
No, no emergency.
Make sure, okay.
Did any of our residents have any other comments? Sir, did you want to say anything? All right, we're going to, if there's no other questions.
I would like to add one to
Yes.
the public works.
Mhm.
The routing for the trash pickup, the community-wide trash pickup. Now, my concern is we're having like me who lives up on Main Street, you want me to take all my junk, well, and put it down on Main Street. I mean, why wouldn't we just have Patterson's run down the alley where they always pick up all the trash? And then they get both sides of the, I just.
You may be onto something, I've never given it any thought, because that's how it was done years before I worked.
Well, for me, it doesn't make sense carrying
Well,
all my stuff down
sure.
the hill to get to, so. I just, and the neighbors, same thing, they're like, why are we putting trash in front of our house when we can put it in the alley? So that's where our trash system is, so I just wanted to chat with you
Well,
on that.
something to talk about.
As in, if we can change the routing on that, so. Think about it. That's all.
Any other questions for Public Works? All right, we're gonna move on to Public Utilities. Eric?
Yep.
I believe first thing on the agenda is the hiring of a new employee. So we've been down an employee for quite some time now. So I'm looking to fill that position that has been vacant for the last 2-3 years. My guys are getting pretty wore out. Matter of fact, I had 2 guys come to me this week and let me know that they're looking for other jobs. So that's a little concerning. So I would like to fill that position, take a little bit of pressure off those guys. Doing it as an entry-level position, starting out like $17 an hour. They'll work out, get licenses, and continue to get educated, trained by our guys, so we're not bringing in bad habits from other places. So that I'm just basically requesting that we fill that empty position, starting pay at like $17 an hour, and be an entry-level position. They'll have to get their CDL, of course, and their lab license, but other than that, we'll take our time training them. The other side of that coin is we'll have another employee retiring in about 3 years. So probably at the beginning of 2027, I'll probably be coming to you guys again to hire somebody, because it takes 2-3 years for people to be able to truly operate and understand the facilities. So we don't want to be down a guy again. So we can train while we know somebody's getting ready to go. So that's just where I'm at. I'd like to just fill that position that's been vacant for
So you
quite
want to
some time.
advertise for that, so we want to put that on agenda for Tuesday?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Can we do that, please?
Let me get my paper on here. Oh, Tuesday's meeting.
Do you need anything from us then to encourage your current workers?
We'll look at pay, towards the end of this year, going into next year. That's a big thing. One of the employees told me he could drive 30 minutes and make $10 an hour more. Granted, yes, I know we cannot be nowhere near what the bigger facilities are paying, but I think we do have to look at the pay, make it a little bit more
Competitive?
as much as we can. You know, I'm not saying that, you know, we're gonna give our guys a $5 an hour raise to keep everybody. I mean, that people's moved on before, people
When was the
hopefully will
last time you
stay.
had a pay increase?
Last time we done a major pay increase, I believe, was in 2017.
So maybe when you do your budget this year?
Correct, yep, we'll be looking at that. Which, you know, I let the two gentlemen know that we'll be discussing this year's budget here, next year's budget coming up pretty soon, the next couple months, and I'll get with Matt to see what that looks like as far as what we can do, as far as increases. Currently, right now, I mean, guys are being poached all the time because of licenses. There's lack of licensed operators, so I get emails all the time, people want me to, and I'm like, no, I'm good where I'm at. And quite a bit more money, to be honest, but this is a hometown, so I've lived here my whole life, and I'm hoping to retire from here, so. And I think thus far, you know, we've been pretty good. I just think that, you know, we need to do a little something. I think a lot of frustration, honestly, and I'm just being 100% honest, is I know, fact, I've talked to them, that they don't believe that anybody up here appreciates what they do and how hard they work. I'm just telling you. That's what I'm being told. The other concern is,
So what can we do to relay that message to them? Because we do appreciate that.
I personally take my guys out about 5-6 times a year to dinner, to lunch, and I personally pay for that myself to show them my appreciation. I'm not saying that's what needs to be done. I think wages would probably help a little bit.
I think the staffing issues too.
Staffing
Brian,
issue is definitely an issue.
Yeah.
Other than that, I honestly don't know. I mean, it would have to be, they could come up and talk to Josh and address their concerns or thoughts with him, I guess. I could say one of the other concerns is this is just what I'm being told, how is it that the village office has more employees than what we have? When we have to maintain facilities and grounds and everything else. So I think that's one of the biggest heartaches that they have right now, and that we're hiring in people up here for office jobs making more than what they're making with the responsibilities that they have. So I think that's where a lot of it comes from, to be honest.
That's fair.
So are you looking just to hire one other operator, or are you looking to hire more than one?
Just one for now, and then, you know, get through 2026, get that person up to speed, and then in 2027 hire another. And then when we do have that employee retire, in probably 3 years is probably when it's gonna happen. We probably, more than likely, would not fill that position because we already have it filled. We're just gonna use that time frame for a training period, unless we truly need them at that point. If we do, then we'll revisit it then, but that would be my plan moving forward.
Okay. Alrighty.
Then next, I believe, is lead and copper.
Yep.
Results. So we've done our lead and copper surveys this year. We had 0 out of the 20 come back with any lead defect whatsoever. Our copper results came back like 15 parts per billion. You're allowed 1,350. So lead and copper is good. On that same note, we had been talking with Cindy Brooks from RCAP probably six months or so ago about looking at getting us grant money to replace the lead service lines that we have now. She reached out last Friday and wanted to know if we wanted to continue to move forward with it. It's basically a loan application. She informed me that we would get 53% of that as principal forgiveness, which is basically a grant. The other 43% would be a zero interest loan. We were originally applying for around $260,000 to replace all the lead service lines in town. However, if we go that route, we do need to have it engineered. So I would suggest that we reach out to Jones and Henry, one of the engineering firms that we use all the time, to see what it would cost us to have that engineering design. Just get a ballpark estimate of what it would cost to do that. It should be a fairly simple project because they should be able to use the same specs that we use from our water main replacement project. So we would probably do directional boring like we did with that to keep the roads not dug up. I believe currently, right now, we have about 85 lead service lines that's owned by the village that needs to be replaced.
And is there a time frame?
I believe that they keep changing it. I believe overall time frame is 2030 when everything needs to be done by. However, the quicker you get it done, the less headaches it is.
Well, the cost will go up.
Correct, too. So on that same note, since we've had the last 3 years of sampling that we have had zero detected on our lead, I did apply to the EPA for going to a 3-year testing program. I won't know till November whether they are going to give us that or not, which I wouldn't see why we would not get it. So at least then we'd have 3 years for testing, because I guarantee once we change the lead lines out, they're still going to make us test for something.
Right.
It's going to be something, and that's how they are. So, and then lastly, I believe filter.
Back
No,
to
go ahead,
your
I'm sorry.
lead and copper, are you saying that you want to move forward on contacting engineering?
Yes, yes.
And is that something you need council approval on, or is that something that you can do?
I could probably contact them and get a cost, and then the cost would be, they would send a contract over basically saying, and then that's something that council would have to approve.
Right. So if you want to go ahead and do that, I mean, is everyone okay with that he goes ahead and does that? And
Okay.
Gets us
Okay.
some idea of what that's going to cost?
Yep, okay, I can do that.
Are you gonna do that for Tuesday's meeting?
Probably won't be in time.
It probably won't be in time for Tuesday's meeting.
When we do get it, do we want an emergency resolution authorizing myself to sign said agreement with Jones and Henry?
Well, let's first, maybe by committee of the whole, we can at least get an idea of what it's going to cost.
Right.
And then we can put it on Tuesday, the following Tuesday
That's
in
September,
September.
yeah, I got you.
Okay, yep.
Right, okay, if there's no other questions on the lead and copper, there is the cleaning Grant Road water tower.
Let me back up for a
Yes,
second.
sir.
And Josh, I hate to ask, this Josh. I'd like to just spread this out a little bit because I don't know the feelings of Josh Long's employees, his guys. But if you guys could get creative working with Josh Bender, I think that there's some validity to, we're probably behind on a lot of thank yous, and we appreciate you. So I'll throw you in on this too, Matt, because you work with a lot of entities. Because we do. And we have great people. I think we need to tell them. So come up with something. If we need to okay it, fine, but if we don't, then we trust you.
Employee appreciation is something I've been slowly working on. I've had some ideas. I mean, our cookout ideas. Food is one way to appreciate. There's better ways too, obviously.
I had mentioned a Christmas party for everyone, and I still think that would be, it just shows that we support you and we appreciate you, and that kind of got shot down in the past, but I think we should relook at that.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we get to look at that. I'll get a little more creative, maybe form a committee.
Sounds good.
Right after those.
Just throw it on Mason's desk.
I don't do that already, do I?
All right, we'll check into that, and we're gonna move on to the Clean Grant Road.
Yeah, so if you actually drive down I-75 and look at that tower, it is pretty nasty.
Mhm.
There's a company called H2O Towers that does cleaning. They can clean it for not to exceed about $8,000. We'd have money in our capital improvement. I talked to Matt a little bit, so half the money that we get for the things that's on top of the water tower that we get is split up for capital improvement, and then part of it goes 50-50 to operation. So basically, we're generating money every month off of that water tower, and I believe that's what it was set up to do. So if it needed to be cleaned, painted, whatever. So at this point, if we would move forward with that, get it cleaned, then at that point they can also do the paint inspection. That tower has never been painted since it was installed in 2004, so the paint is getting old, and we want to address any issues as early as possible before it starts rusting and have premature wear. I talked to the company and they said ballpark. After it's clean, they inspect it and make sure nothing's done. To repaint that water tower would be roughly about $60,000, which 60, which is pretty cheap. That would also get rid of the North Baltimore that's crooked. So that would be all new, stencils of whatever you guys would choose to put back up there. And that's where he said roughly $60,000, depending on how you wanted it to look. If you wanted, huge American flag and this and that of course drives the cost up. But
So you're looking close to 68 to 70,000.
yeah,
And
I told him that.
Capital improvement.
Pardon
What do
me?
you have in your capital improvement account?
I'd have to look, I'd get with Matt to discuss that. That's not nothing I'm planning on doing this year. So that would be something that I would budget for next year if the money's there to do so. I believe right now, I met with Matt a couple weeks ago, carryover for the water department is estimated to be a little over $200,000. He can give you those numbers, factual numbers, and same for wastewater. So there's definitely money there to hire the employee and do some capital improvements that will need to be done. Because it'd be better to do it now than wait until later, and now it's rusting, and now we're fixing steel and sandblasting and everything, where if everything's in good shape, they can just do a light blast on it, put one coat of paint over it, and done.
You would do it all simultaneously, though. You'd have it cleaned at the
Clean
same
this
time,
year,
so you
clean
would
this
have-
year.
Well, wouldn't it have to be cleaned again before they painted it?
No, because they'll sandblast it.
Okay.
So they'll not sand, they use a glass bead. That's what they would blast just to rough up the paint for the next. And then, of course, yes, they would wipe that down and then repaint it.
Okay, but they wouldn't have to
Correct, they
clean
wouldn't
it.
have to re-clean it. Correct.
All right, well,
Why would you clean it then? If
How
you
do you
clean
look
it,
at
then
it?
you paint it.
Because it looks,
Okay, but I'm just saying, why clean it for 8,000 if you're planning on then
why
turning
buy
around?
property for $129,000 if we don't need it?
He's saying that.
Is it just part of the inspection?
It is, I mean, it is part of the inspection. To clean it, to see the paint, you have to have it clean. That's why I said
well, doesn't it?
we would have it clean so they
Before it's
could.
painted, wouldn't it have to be cleaned anyhow?
Pardon me?
Wouldn't it have to be cleaned before it's painted anyhow? Or can you just go up there and sandblast it without cleaning it first?
No, it has,
It would have.
so we have to clean it for part of the inspection. Those towers
Right.
need to be inspected every 5 years.
Right, okay.
We're due for an inspection.
Right.
So part of that is the inspection aspect of the exterior of the structure. So, that being said, you have to clean it so you can see what the paint, if paint's chipping or there's rust there, because right now we don't know because it's black. It's covered with basically mold. And I think it's a huge eyesore, in my opinion.
It represents our village right there. Crookedly.
Okay, does anyone else have any questions on this? You'll go ahead and let us know more on that as you move forward. Okay,
Well, I let him know that we could take action tonight.
right.
And that I would have Josh put it on the agenda if you guys wanted to do it. And if so, I'd let him know, and then he said he'd have the contract drawn up, copies of his insurance that he would be able to send the village at that point. And
That's
he
for
gave
cleaning
me
and inspection. correct?
cleaning and inspection.
Okay.
And he gave me like 1,200 references. I'm not going through 1,200 references.
I'm sorry, because you probably already stated this and I might have missed it. It's due when?
The inspection
Yep,
will be due next year.
okay.
So if we have, so anytime within that 5-year time frame. So if we haven't painted, it's actually due next year, but we could say we had it done in 2025, and that covers that inspection for that tower.
Okay. So you want that put on Tuesday's agenda?
Yes.
Please. Thank you. Any other questions on that? Okay, we're gonna move on to water plant filter
The
update.
filters. So currently, right now, they are actually a little ahead of schedule. They will be placing all the under drain in the filters tomorrow. Once those are in, they'll do the mortar. So their plan is tomorrow, get all the under drain system put in, all the mortar set in there. And then it has to set for at least 72 hours. So once we hit that window, then we will do a backwash per se on it to make sure that there's no lifting or anything of the under drain. Once that is completed, they will install the media, and we'll have to do a bunch of backwashes on that. And then once that's done, which they're anticipating by the end of next week, that filter will actually be back up and running. That's been out of service for almost a year now.
All right. Okay. All right.
Josh, did you need to tell us anything about the contract on the rabbit ears on top of that tower?
The police radio stuff?
No.
Oh, T-Mobile. Well, I didn't respond to them. We're gonna. Is it on here? It's not on here.
Yes.
Number 4, under finance and technology.
Yeah, basically I just responded to them, saying, hey, this is another idea, would you be more susceptible to an offer of, I came to council with this kind of thing. Let's see, he did not respond to that yet, I sent out last week. Okay.
All right, any other questions for Paul or Brian? We're gonna move on to public safety. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
Yep, have a good evening.
You wanna talk about cats?
Thanks, Josh.
Thanks, Josh.
Thank you. Yep.
Yes.
Okay, if you go to page 8, the little cat's got me a agreement of sorts. I'll probably modify this a little bit so you know, so we can sign it, should we go forward with it, of course. But basically, it comes down to they run the program, and we pay them $5,000. I'm probably gonna reword that so we can, put like maybe grant money towards it, or donations towards it also to increase that amount, so which means more cats would get spayed or neutered.
And when are we gonna implement this?
I think we can, once we get the resolution, if we do emergency next Tuesday, we could probably go forward right then and there. I think I've already talked about this for quite some time, so I think the council is all in agreement that we need to go about this, and it's another organization doing it on our behalf, so we're not really committing much manpower, outside of maybe Jake, our code enforcement officer, maybe lending a hand out to you.
Well, then let's put that on the agenda and address it next week. Everybody good with that?
Yes.
May I ask a question?
Yes.
I just wondered, I noticed here it says for a minimum of 5,000, there's no maximum?
I think they're only asking for 5,000. I've not edited this, came straight from them, so. it needs
Just
probably-
thinking of the village's dollars, it says minimum of 5,000, so does that mean they're open to, we don't have a maximum on that?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Just wondering.
I just want to put in there more explicitly, like the money could come from grants or
Donations.
donations, anything of that sort. More money means more cats.
Did I read that correctly, that the 5,000 would roughly cover 62
I believe you are correct.
cats? So it'd be kind of I would assume that they'd be checking in with Josh and wanting to know if we want to proceed beyond that 62.
Yes.
Yes.
They might be coming to us pretty quickly because there are a lot of cats.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure you
Is our
realize.
code enforcement officer going to kind of provide them some of the hot spots around town?
Yes,
To
yes.
start?
He is already kind of getting a list put together of sorts of residents who would like those traps to be on their property even.
Great.
So it's coming together. It's coming
Yep.
together.
Okay. Any other discussion on the act? We're gonna move on to police radios.
Police radios. So yesterday I got a quote from the alternative company instead of Bennett Communications. Page 10 and 11 in your packet. Basically, I do not know how to read this.
This
so I
is for our
apologize.
repeaters.
Yeah.
It's for stuff. The police
Yeah.
radios.
Thanks.
I don't want to answer that. I don't exactly know what I'm reading. I apologize for that, but this one is for 18,000 from Railcom, and we said that yesterday. And the other one, as you've already seen, from Bennett Communications. I'm pretty sure this one's outdated by a little while. It's been quite a few months we've talked about this. That one is around 21, or a little less than 21,000. Let's say they are the same exact service. Obviously, we go with the lower one, but I would defer to, well, in this case, Ted, I guess.
Can I speak on this? So we have vehicle repeaters in our fire trucks. If you look at the very first page, he talks about $4,000 to $5,000 for vehicle repeaters. Why don't I take Sarge around in one of our fire trucks with our vehicle repeaters and let him try it out on to see if they actually work, and that would be a lot cheaper than putting one on a water tower. But that's up to you guys. We have vehicle repeaters in our trucks because if we go into the school or if we go into CSP, we have to turn our vehicle repeaters on because we get no service in them. So, and they do work.
Yeah, if you and Sarge want to get together and make a determination on which quote is the best, that'd be great too, yeah.
Because, I mean, you put something on the water tower.
Then we gotta paint it.
No, this is on the other one. But you're not guaranteed it's gonna work.
Yeah.
They could be somewhere else and it don't work. They used to have vehicle repeaters in the police cars back when I first started as fire chief. And
So can they test the police radios with the repeater that you have?
I have one. I can switch because I have a dual band in 2 of my trucks, so I can switch over to the PD channel.
Okay.
With one of my portables, switch one of my portables over to the PD channel. He can sit there and call the dispatch. We can go cruise around. He
Okay.
can call up and see if it works.
Seems like that might be time well spent for an officer safety issue. You guys can test some of your dead zones.
There's a lot.
I know, yeah, we don't.
Yeah.
We had a lot too when we was on the VHF side.
I would hate to put, to your point, put it on the water tower and then these guys still have, our officers still have dead zones.
Yeah.
It seems like council would like to go forward with one of these quotes. Am I correct in thinking that, council?
No, I don't think so, no. I think if they have a better option, I think we need to look at that first.
Would that kind of include also some of this?
Well, if you put vehicle repeaters in the cars, you won't put.
You don't need
vehicle
something
You won't
on the
need a
tower.
vehicle repeater on the top of the water tower. But if you read the front of it,
Well, then why hasn't this been discussed before? Because you weren't here? Pretty much.
are you kidding? We've had.
Well, with me,
I will tell you.
Well, let's talk about, was
I
there a
will
meeting I was
tell you
in?
the radio issues. We've had radio problems for a long time. We switched to the Marks, and I understand you guys don't want to switch to the Marks, I get it. But we fixed our vehicle, our VHF system with vehicle repeaters. And I can talk anywhere in town. So, we'll have to try.
Please do it. There is definitely a alternative to this. I mean, again, we've been talking about Bennett Communications for, I don't know, 4 or 5
Well,
months.
can you guys get that done this week? So we can revisit it at council meeting?
Can I get paid overtime?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
I don't get
What?
it. Yeah.
You know, he does this once in a while and we just all shun you.
Yes, I can try to.
I know you don't have enough on your plate right
Yeah.
now, but,
Well, I think Josh's
I mean, I can
question-
take a fire truck out. All I gotta do is park it, and he just gotta follow me real quick.
Well, I
Yeah.
think what the whole thing is we need to make a decision.
Yes,
We need
yes,
the
yeah.
coverage. So
I'm tired of
we're
talking
just
about
trying to get it to
something.
move
Like I
along
said-
as quickly as possible.
when we put vehicle repeaters in our fire trucks, it was Chief Bear at the time, put them in his police cruisers. But when they get new police cruisers, they just pull the radio out, oh, I forgot I had the vehicle repeater. Well, the vehicle repeater, you just threw $5,000 away because it goes to a car. You pull all that stuff out. Same thing when we buy a new fire truck. Pull all the old radio stuff out and put it back in the new one. Pull all the old radio stuff out and put it back in the new one. Yeah, no.
Well, they thought wrong then.
And you can wire those things up so they're always on.
Well, and again, this is not my specialty.
Oh, I
I
get
don't
it.
know what I'm looking at.
But I don't wanna step on
I
no-
apologize,
tell these guys
Phil,
how to
through
do
previous
it.
conversations that I may have been included on, I just don't know what's going on.
When I worked
How
for the
to make a
university,
decision.
if I could say, when I worked for the university police department all those years, we had a repeater on top of the library. Our union forced them to put repeaters in our cars because it wasn't working to our satisfaction for our safety. So we had them in cars and on the roof of the library.
And I know every one of the sheriff's cruisers that you see cruising around have vehicle repeaters in them. Every one of the OSP trooper cars have vehicle repeaters in them.
And what do those cost approximately for a
He
repeater?
says right here, approximately on the front one, installed in the patrol vehicle for around $4 or $5 grand per.
I did read that, you're right, okay.
Yeah, so when they get rid of another car, they pull it out, it's a one-time cost.
Okay.
So, Acting Chief Brochus, what is your opinion on this? How should we proceed? This is for your officers, it's for you.
Right, it can't hurt, I mean, we could try it, but I mean, regardless, we need to make, I just can't imagine in 2025 that we're still talking about cops can't talk to dispatch.
Right.
When we're fighting with people.
So if you gentlemen could get
Insanity.
this done before Tuesday, we'll put it on the agenda, if you can get us the information, so we can at least discuss it and maybe make a decision Tuesday on it then, but we'll have it on the agenda, and you let us know if you can get that done by then, okay?
Sure.
Becky, could you please
Got
add
it.
that? Thank
And then it
you.
would ultimately be a revised quote without the water tower, so we save money and hopefully get you and your officers better coverage.
Right.
Okay, great.
Would that quote also be from Railcom in this case? They probably don't have the email? Okay.
Thank you for bringing it up.
I
Appreciate
don't,
it.
poo-poo your question either, though, is why haven't we talked about this? We've had good communication in this meeting, and there's things that have come up that we haven't talked about, so now we do.
It's
It's a good point.
I only, the radio stuff is pretty high level for me, and I'm not sure what previous conversations we've ever had, and I know this has been an ongoing issue, and obviously the police being able to communicate is kind of a must, so it's, I
Well,
want
let's
to get
see if
this
we can get it
figured out
resolved for
as soon as
Tuesday.
possible, so yes, I
Yeah,
agree.
let's get it resolved for Tuesday. We're gonna, if there's no other questions on radios, we're going to move on to the police logo.
Yes, I'm not sure, Brochus, you've seen this before, haven't you?
I think Chief Lafferty had it.
Yeah, I created it, so a couple months ago, Lafferty is aware of it, the mayor's been aware of it, I haven't heard any negative feedback from anyone, we don't have to go forward with anything on this yet, it's kind of just like a soft, opening, soft presentation, but, Chief.
I think it looks nice.
Yeah, I think it looks better, Chief, if you have any opinions on that,
I do not.
I would like council one day, maybe not Tuesday, maybe agree on this, along with, obviously, concurrence from the police department, if we want to go forward with in this direction for future patches and.
Bring it up,
logos,
please.
et cetera.
Please.
Yeah?
It's good stuff. It is.
I would like.
You can get a sticker for our new radios.
Yeah.
Put it on there.
I'm not against waiting for Chief Lafferty to come back before we go forward with it also, but, if we really want to push for it.
I think that would be respectful myself, I believe.
Yeah,
that.
there's no rush on this at all. We've
Right.
gone with this above the top logo here for I don't know how long, so just throwing it out there. Something we might talk about today.
All right, how about our chiefs? Do you have anything that you'd like to add?
I just gotta inform you guys of something. We had an incident out on I-75 the other night where, I don't know if the semi next to us blew the tire, or they picked the tire up and threw it at us, but we caught a carcass of a semi tire under our passenger front wheel, flung it up under the vehicle, and now we may possibly have a blown engine. So our frontline ambulance is sitting at Foss Story of Ford, waiting. I'm waiting for them to get back with me with what it is, and at that point, then I'll get a hold of Matt, and we'll get a hold of our insurance company
I
and
was
see
gonna say,
what.
is insurance gonna take care of it?
They should,
Okay.
they should, that's a road hazard. It doesn't have to be body damage, it doesn't have to be a crash. I mean, they said they've dealt with insurance companies for these over the years a lot. So, but at that point, I'm hoping I go insurance, and I'm hoping maybe they can work some magic with my warranty, because we're past it. But there's a lot of things that we're gonna try to work out to get everything covered. So I'll just let you know that. I mean, I'll keep you informed meeting to meeting if I hear anything new. Right now, I'm just waiting for them they're gonna have to tear it down far enough to see what the problem is, and they're gonna have to tear it down far enough to show the insurance company what the problem is anyhow, so it's kind of one of those catch-2020s.
Do you have enough vehicles right now, though?
We're operating, because we have that third one that I have out back that I keep. Are we running as good as we run with the other two? No, but with that being our backup, it's a little tighter to work out of, because it's not made for today's emergency medicine. It doesn't have the room for all our equipment, so we're jammed in there. We can get by. That's about it. I mean, now if something goes, I don't know what to do. Because right now my ambulance is sitting out in this bay is a 2000 and a 2002.
How
Our
long?
backup's 1984.
2 years I can get historic plates for both.
Well, the
How long do
backup's
you think this-
1984, isn't it?
No.
No? We got rid of that
That's
one?
the newer one. That's the 2002. The second truck in line is the one that's our front line right now. That's 2000. That's the one I bought from Macomb.
The one that's damaged, how long do you think that'll be?
What's that?
The one that's damaged, how long do you think that's gonna be down?
I bet we're gonna see at least a month. I can see it. I can see at least a month. I mean, because if you look at an ambulance, that motor's halfway underneath the driver and halfway.
Yeah.
So they have to take off the fenders, the bumper, the radiator support. They got to pull out, because it's not like a regular truck where they can just pull the cab, because the cab is actually fastened to those boxes in a permanent fashion with so many wires and stuff going through it that there's no way they could ever take the cab off. So they got to take it out that way. So I imagine that's probably what's taking so long for me to hear something back. They got to get the body part ripped down first so they can get it on an engine stand. But I did have the transmission tested, because at first we thought it was the transmission, because the way it was making the noise when you would drive. And the good news is our transmission is like new. So they tested that out and said it was fine.
Question, we have Mason, can we have him looking into any potential grants to maybe upgrade some of our equipment?
You can look, but they're hard to find for EMS.
Yeah, I bet.
You can get them for fire trucks and stuff, but it's hard to get them for EMS vehicles.
What specific?
Matter of fact, our Chiefs Association in the state right now is really pushing hard the last couple of years to try to get more vehicle and station type grants available, and so far it hasn't been added.
So you're saying it's probably not even worth this time to even try
Well,
to
I
chase
mean,
it down?
If
you know of anything, like.
I haven't been able to find any.
Okay.
What I do is I buy remounted ambulances.
Yeah.
Because an ambulance in this day and age costs about $325,000, and I buy the remounted so I can get them in about half.
Yeah.
The one that is in the shop now, I was lucky enough to find that one for $119,000, and that was a great deal. I mean, that was a steal, but that was a remount demo. They actually took it places and showed it off for their business, so it had some miles on it versus the remounts, but I was able to knock off quite a bit of revenue, cash off of it.
Okay.
But that's where we sit right now. Everything else is going good.
All right, thank you.
I'll throw that at Mason's plate.
Hunker, did you have anything you wanted to add to the department?
No, we've just been busy.
Okay.
Everything's going good.
All right.
Everything's up. Just finish up I've got a couple more trucks, services scheduled soon. We've got ladder testing sometime this month.
make sure the neighbors want to know.
Air, we gotta have all of our air packs load tested soon.
All right, well, we appreciate both of you. Sergeant Brochus, did you have anything else you'd like to add tonight?
No, just, obviously personnel issues, and, get some hiring somehow.
Well, we're
Mike,
ready
and
for
I
that.
would mention to council that, you know, I know we're talking about wages and everything. I'm not in that conversation, but there may be some thought to at least 50 cents more starting per hour for next year. So that way we're keeping up with the other villages that are ahead of us.
Did you hear that, Tim?
We will need to look at the budget and see, when you do your budgets, and see if, you know, if you could keep that in mind, Matt, for the budgets, to see if that's something we can address and look at. I would like to talk to you in the next week or so if we can get together.
Sure.
So, any questions for public safety? All right, thank you, gentlemen, appreciate your input. Moving on to finance and technology, Tim?
The new office computers, Josh, go ahead.
Thank you. So, I reached out to Intech, knowing we had a few computers to be replaced. I didn't know we needed 10 computers to be replaced. Because of the October deadline, same deadline that we've been talked to about regarding the Microsoft 365 and getting rid of the servers, all that fun stuff. So same exact deadline is the reason why we need to get new computers, because at that point these 10 computers cannot be updated. Basically they are liabilities to the village. And no new cybersecurity updates, no new updates in general. They're just going on with their old software, and they are like a liability. So reached out, got a quote for 10 new computers of these specs. It would be $8,000 each. 8,000 total.
Oh.
So $800 each.
You need those by October, you said?
Ideally, yes. Yes, we do.
And right now, they're just not even secure? You said there was...
Right now, they're still being updated right now. It's just once October hits, they will not be.
Okay.
So once October hits, we should have the computers in place.
How long does it take to get these in?
I don't know the supply chain, but I would assume pretty quickly, based off of just how quickly computers have been. Like Mason's computer, when we got his new one, that came in pretty quick, I would say. That and installed and all.
Have you found the money?
So the question, I don't think our budget was anticipating this, those line items for office equipment. So that is something I'll be working with Matt on. I might have to do a appropriation for that one. So another emergency resolution.
You want on Tuesday's meeting?
I think we might have to. If not next Tuesday, then September 12th.
Yeah, but is that gonna be too late to get them in for October? We don't wanna be protected. Would you like to see where the money's
We
coming
might
from?
still we might still be good if we do September, but it's taking more of a risk.
Yeah.
That's if we need to highlight the response. I knew you could breathe.
So
I'm no EMT, but.
All right, so you want that put on Tuesday's meeting then?
Yes, Tuesday.
Okay, please, Becky. All right, any other questions on the computers?
Does this company provide us any service other than we're just buying the computers from them? Do they do any warranty repairs?
They do. I would think the warranties are through them, so they're the ones that actually buy them, and they can repair them.
Okay, I was just curious as like what stops us from getting 10 computers from Best Buy? With the same
We could.
specs?
I'm sure we probably could. I mean,
I just wondering if it saves us $100 a computer potentially. I didn't know if they provided anything other than we order it from them, box shows up, and you hook it up.
they hook them up too. They do all that for us.
Oh, okay.
Intech's been great. They really have.
Okay.
I'm running them all.
It's all of it's security software on them also, don't they?
Yes.
Okay, good. So it's more than just, we're just ordering, that was my question. Do they do more than just, okay.
We could order computers ourselves, but
Yeah, right.
Their step, and they know what they know what they're buying. They want to keep everything secure, and
Cool.
it's
Thanks.
easier if they go. So, so I guess we need an emergency ordinance actually for the supplemental appropriation. 'Cause I think I already have the authority to buy it if I have the money.
Right.
So.
Well, I'd just like to know where it's coming from. So
Yes,
if you could
exactly.
Find that out by Tuesday.
Exactly.
I appreciate it.
Okay, and the next thing is a
Council chambers.
Council Chambers TV. This is something that came, I brought it before briefly in other council meetings. Something we don't have to go forward with, at least anytime soon. One of the 10 computers is actually the one behind there that's connected to TV. So I was thinking we replace that computer on TV with a new computer that would be also attached to a 75-inch TV behind Bill and Dave Richmond. But again, this is an idea. We won't go forward with this, but this would be enable us to view documents easier, have conference chats here with people as a group. Also, if we needed to see camera footage of anything, council could see it a little better without cranking the neck up there that small TV.
Why not up there?
It could be over there too. My idea was putting it over here, but we could also do there. I've been kind of fighting back and forth on that one. But again, we first have to get the TV. Got to get approval from council to get the TV. This is kind of again extra. It's not a mandatory thing we must do at this time. So
I
just
think with the new computers, we might want to hold off on that. That would be my suggestion for a little while. Hold off on the monitor in here. I don't think that's a top priority.
I did get the monitor quote before I really said, hey, should probably get this quote for the computers too. So yeah, okay. Hold off on the 75-inch TV up there for now, but now we know how much it costs. Well, now this quote, if we would go forward with it.
What price did you get on it?
It's $1,269, and that includes labor of mounting and all that, and getting wiring and the TV or the
Was that for
computer.
The computers and TV?
That is for. You have this one.
There's two separate
It's
quotes. So it's
page
on
14. Page 14.
On the back.
It's on the back.
That's the TV mount for $130. The TV itself would be $900. We can do a 65-inch for $700, and then the labor would be $240. But we could cut down the labor costs. We could have our guys do it. We have our guys actually buy the TV if we need to. Maybe I'll do some Black Friday shopping.
I think I agree with D. I think we should focus on the computers and push that.
Of course, that is a must. I do agree. But anyways, we're talking about that.
Next request, software, public records request.
Yes. So Civic Plus, which we use for a variety of things, agenda software, legal review, and our online meeting code implementations. We also reached out and about public records requests. They have software on that also.
Okay.
So
now, would that be what we would be used over here to replace the software we have?
no, this would be something separate. This would be more of a ability to organize a lot better. That software you're referring to would be, I think, body cam, generic body cam.
Right, which when you get done talking about that, we're going to talk about that, because we need to address that.
So as everyone's aware here, we have about 80 plus public records requests and growing this year alone. They reached out to me. I said, heck yeah, let's do it. I got on the call with both Chief Lafferty and Paul Scaff, who both agree that we should, even though I'll get to the point of basically it's a little bit $10,000. So it's a little high in the price, but all three of us agree that it might be worth it, at least maybe going into 2026, January 1st, 2026 even. Because we'll be able to basically streamline the process, auto-populate emails, have template emails. We're able to store documents a lot easier. We can track it a lot easier, which has been a big problem. And included in that software, you can redact like hard copy files, like PDFs and all that. So it's got a lot of pluses to it. I do have a quote on here, but I also included the agreement on page 8, executive summary, I'm sorry, on page 18, if you want to read about it more. So that's what they provided us. So it's a little, goes over a bunch of information on the software.
So this would not replace what we have?
It would replace
in
my
addition
Google
to-
document. It would be replace my Google document, which is.
But not what the police station is already?
Correct. This is something
Okay,
separate.
so it's in addition to theirs?
Yes.
Okay.
With the yearly cost of $9,000.
Mhm.
Yes, $1,000 annual recurring services.
Well, I have more concerns with the body cams. We have, the software is completely outdated. It can literally take 24 hours to upload a video, just to view it. We need to do something. Now, I asked you to check and see if there was any, because I guess the problem is that the software companies have decided they're gonna put it on with the body cam, so they want you to get a contract of like $60,000 for 5 years. And we may have to do that because we've gotta do something. But I asked you and Chief Lafferty to check and see if you could find any, other software programs out there that we could replace the one that we have that would be cheaper than that you wouldn't involve getting new body cams and things like that. You didn't have time to do that, correct? And I know Chief Lafferty's been off.
That is
So
correct.
can we please make that a top priority to check into that, to see if there's any other apps out there that we can upgrade what we have, because we can't expect someone to redact something or to work on something that the software is completely outdated and they can't even use it.
We just got new
Right
body
now,
cameras, correct?
pardon me?
With 2021, I believe.
What'd you say?
Didn't we just get new body cameras?
I believe in 2021.
Well, the body cams, yes, that's what I'm
With
saying.
COVID money, I believe.
No, we just got them,
No,
not
they
that long
were,
ago.
I believe they were last year.
Yeah.
What I would like to see is, obviously new body cams, but cameras for our cruisers also. That's just my 2 cents.
But we've gotta do something. This has gotta be top priority, because one, we're behind on the records request, and we've gotta get somebody trained to take care of that, and we need some sort of app that we can use. Can't use the one that we have. So if we can't find an app, because like I said, all these companies have gotten onto this to go, oh, we'll go ahead and lease them to you, we'll lease you the body cams, and that will include the app that you need to redact these things. That's the $60,000 every 5 years. But you're looking at spending $10,000 on this.
In addition to.
Right, so, I'm sorry, I believe that this is more important, because
And-
we can't view the body cams.
Possibly, maybe that software has basically what this is asking, what this is offering also. So maybe there's
An all-in-one solution.
An all-in-one solution,
Right.
there we go. That's what we're-
You get new equipment that you're leasing, you get
Right.
the software.
So please check into that, because
Okay.
I believe we need to address that sooner than later.
I've not done a deep dive at all. That Lafferty's been the only person I've really talked to about it.
Right.
Obviously, he can't do much with it right now, so I will.
Well, get with Sergeant
Yeah.
Rocha then,
Yeah.
because he's in charge right now, and I have talked to Chief Lafferty. We need something.
Yes.
This is something that needs addressed, and should have been addressed a long time ago.
I agree.
Well,
So
it's just a
please-
shame it's really just one family what's causing us to spend all
I
this money.
understand, but it's
and
still their
that's-
right to do it,
I know,
and we
but
have
it's
to address it, so.
Just a shame that it's taxpayers' money
Right.
that's being spent on.
But we're not getting these record requests fulfilled, and we're gonna find ourselves in hot water. So we need to get this addressed.
Yes. And yeah.
Well, I'm gonna agree with you strongly, Josh, because of all of the strings, the idea of vehicle camera, yeah. Yeah,
So I'm gonna add that.
yes, please, get us a quote, because, yeah, spend 5 minutes on YouTube, you see that's the necessity of that.
D.
May I make a suggestion?
Please.
Absolutely.
Draft up a nice email with questions and send it to the Wood County Chiefs Association, maybe asking those gentlemen what they use in all their departments, telling them what the problems we're having with ours, how being so slow, and you might find out that there's some pretty good ones out there, because all chiefs are the same, they're gonna spend the least amount of money to get the best product, so.
And I did ask Chief Lafferty to reach out to the departments to see what they were using, so.
It's a simple email, that you have a Chiefs Association, I mean, you hit them all at once.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay,
Please
thank
do
you.
that.
And then, T-Mobile service agreement, so wait on email, we're back, but basically, I may have went too high with them on that first email, I will admit. But I will.
Hey, we don't know if we don't ask.
I brought it down, so, obviously I'd say we are asking for this. I said, hey, we have more acceptable to offer, lower than what I originally asked, which I believe, looking back on it, I did that in haste. So, that was the T-Mobile, again, agreements. That was T-Mobile. And Mayor's Court software, we're looking at doing Baldwin. As of now, it looks like to get our data from CMI, which is our current Mayor's Court software, it will cost $8,000. To import said data would be about $4,000. There may be an opportunity, and Matt is still looking into it, I believe, that maybe we just have this data as read-only in some way, or we print off everything in hard copy, just in case we need it for future reference, and then we don't pay that $12,000. We just have it the last 3 years, I believe, right, Matt?
Yeah, I've been talking, April Brochus and I have been talking about Mayor's Court software is not new in the office. We've been talking about it since I started, really, 10 months. The software goes to CMI, the current provider, it ends. They no longer support it at the end of this year. So we've been looking into it more, talking about it more seriously in the last week. Part of the packet has the quote. I'm not sure what page it is in the packet, but
the BG at the top, 22.
And I had it in my page on today's agenda. I have a page there that describes it a little more. So we're going to go with the light version. We hashed that out in the last probably 2 weeks, because we were thinking maybe we needed to do full at one time, but decided light will be adequate. So the cost to extract data from CMI and convert it into Baldwin's, like Josh said, $8,000 from CMI, and to extract it from CMI, and $4,000 to convert it into Baldwin. It seems excessive. So we've been talking more serious about that in the last 2 days. And I say mainly April and I. Chloe's the one going to be doing it moving forward, but April's she's done the work with the Mayor's Court software in the past. So we think we can do that in-house, like Josh said. Basically, we'll just have to print off the current outstanding cases and just basically manually insert them into the new software. Due to the cost savings, I think it makes the most sense. The reason I'm really like hesitation, it's like just trying to make sure we're not missing something, let it roll for a couple of days, and then I'll circle back to April and hey, how do you still feel about doing it, just the way I'm describing it now. So on it's somewhere down towards the bottom of my sheet, the Mayor's Court, with the quote from Baldwin that had the $4,000 conversion cost. So worst case scenario, that's $10,035. We're hoping to take 4,000 out of that, but I'm not yet ready to make that official recommendation. But we'd like to start the transition like October, November, probably more October. So probably gonna have to come to council with an emergency resolution for that because of the timing. Or I guess I could have it on the next meeting to do a first reading. I just was trying to make sure this is definitely the way we wanted to go. There's a lot more into it. The police is going to Central Square through Wood County, so we've been talking with them. When I say that there's just a lot of different moving parts with it.
Wasn't there a huge extraction fee on that as well?
Same 8,000.
Yeah,
So
which
a separate bill.
I'll get to that in a second, but yeah.
I didn't.
Separate.
I talked to Josh a little bit on some ideas this afternoon that I've been trying to roll through my head if there's like a more cost-effective method or not. But still, my thought process is trying to look for something that works, will work well, but costs less. But for the mayor's court, I had sent out a thread through the Ohio Municipal League. That was probably 8 months ago. Everybody comes back Baldwin. Brochus is familiar with Baldwin. Mr. Miller, he had went out not even knowing what I had done. Like everybody comes back to Baldwin for mayor's court. So we're confident in that thought process, but just trying to hammer out the conversion side of it, what makes the most sense. So.
Okay, well, keep us updated on what route you're going on.
Yeah, so we'll, may have, I guess, I'll know more in the next couple of days, and they have a resolution on the agenda for next Tuesday's meeting, which will be the first reading.
Okay. All right, any other questions on that particular topic? I'm going to go on to police record management software. Is that
Yes.
the one we just mentioned?
Yes, sorry guys, more money. So, another data extraction quote for $8,000 from CMI to go to Central Square. Central Square is what the county sheriff's department is using. Council has already agreed through a resolution ordinance in April 2024 to go forward with Central Square, and I am proceeding as appropriate.
Is that still, because they were supposed to fulfill that already. They were supposed to have done that by July, if I'm not mistaken.
Keeps getting postponed, now to January 6th.
Right.
Which creates more issues because now we have to use CMI annual prorated.
Right.
I'm trying to get it done earlier, I'm in conversations with the sheriff's department, it's a whole.
So do we know for sure it's all gonna be compatible and we can extract those and those records are gonna be transferable, everything, because they don't even have that up and running yet. There's no guarantees they're gonna have it up by January.
In a way, I'm kind of scrambling, I will use that word, with somewhat the mayor's court stuff, but more so Central Square, mostly because it's not ours, it's not us, it's the sheriff. They are the ones that are contacting Central Square, they're the ones that should have all the answers. Basically, I asked, like, would we have to pay to convert the data from CMI to Central Square? She said, Central Square have the same thing Baldwin has with the conversion costs. How much does Central Square even cost us? I don't have those costs in front of me. Can we get Central Square before January 1st? Because again, CMI will charge us past the year date, and that's more headache. So I'm trying to get that answer from them. And then even the resolution, even the agreement, I don't think was executed properly, to be honest with you. I'm getting clarification.
Is there a
from
better
your counsel
option?
on that one.
Is there another option?
To my knowledge, the entire county is going to Central Square, and
Is that part of the CAD system?
it's their RMS, am I using that right acronym there? System basically. But, to my knowledge, our police department has not been brought into the know on this too much. They're kind of in the dark. So I'm trying to step up and take those while Becky's away. There should be trainings going on. I don't know if I'm not getting emails.
They're going on right now.
That's great.
They're going on right now, they send the email out.
Great. So we might not have anyone trained because no one's there right now. Unless
At least on the EMS side, at least on our side and the fire side, their training has been going on for a month.
Yeah, I saw an email saying something of that sort from May. But
I don't know if Dave's getting the emails or what. I can't speak for him.
He should be, but I'm doing what I can on this one. Again, scrambling a little bit to get answers and trying to catch up on something that's been talked about for about a year and a half or so.
Right.
And no one else here knows what's going on. So that's just where I am with that. That's fantastic.
Well, I just know there's a lot of concerns with that as far as getting everything transferred over and what it's gonna cost us and we can't continue on with what we have.
We cannot, because even in my personal experience with CMI over there, just getting basic stuff the software crashes a lot. It doesn't have a lot of capabilities that I think it should. I've barely used it at all. Obviously, I shouldn't get this database, but basic stuff.
So is this the same software that we're using to do the records request, to do the redactions? Or is this a separate one?
To my knowledge, there is no redaction component to CMI out there. It's just to hold records and keep it's a record management software, RMS. So it's just so for different cases and that kind of stuff.
All of our software is outdated.
That's one way to put it, yes.
I think CMI started in 2020, somebody told me, or 2000, excuse me,
right.
25
years.
So we used CMI back in the day for our payroll, our finance, I'm guessing Mayor's Court at the same time too, and our RMS system over there. Over the last couple of years or so, we've gotten rid of them from payroll and finance, replaced it with UAN, correct? Is that a correct statement? Yeah. And now we're getting rid of them from our RMS, police department, and our Mayor's Court now. And I believe after that, we don't use them for anything else, correct, Matt? For your knowledge. But yeah, the software we are currently using, from little I know about this, it's not very effective. So I'm getting my head wrapped around it and hoping I have more answers to you.
All right. Any questions for finance and technology before we move on?
I hate to bring this up, but as full as the office is getting, have we looked at any way to change the way we use this building, for lack of a better term?
Outside of giving EMS a new home, I don't see anything. Or are you giving fire and EMS a new home? I
I'll
don't
never
see.
have enough money saved up in my budget for that.
We can't even
Well, let's take out a loan. Is that?
I really haven't seen it to be a problem.
Okay, all right.
I mean, I haven't even heard the ladies really complain.
Okay.
When Jacob, he's in and out because of being code enforcement, but he uses the council room, he sits for days at. Now, to be honest.
Are you getting
You run it out?
So it's definitely been discussed, maybe using the reservoir property as that was talked about years ago, I think with Allison Murray, and she brought it up, getting them a fire department out there. I would only do that if development in that area booms, so I'll pay for said development. But right now, that's not something that's feasible.
Well, his answer was very welcome, because there's...
Yeah, like for me, I'm kind of like hiding in the corner, but I haven't heard Chloe or April have.
Yeah. Good,
You know,
okay.
I mean, they haven't had anything negative to say. Mason's been very helpful. It's kind of a joke, like he would call him Quick Draw McGraw, and when the phone rings, like sometimes I see two people grab the phone and he seems like I tell him you need to get on Jeopardy. Just kind of comical.
Yeah.
Look at the revolver.
Mason and Chloe have been great, I would say.
Yeah.
Perspective too.
Good chemistry.
We are very limited out of room. Obviously, we had to get a little creative over there with Mason's desk and all that. but I think it's been a great benefit, and it's allowing us to get over that hump, because a human being only has so much capacity in one day, only so many hours. So it allows us to really do more. A lot of grants, and I'll get into it a little later, but he's applied for a TMACOG grant to start a big sidewalk project I'm looking at doing, to get a 10-foot wide multi-use path down 18. The goal is to get it from Loves to South Tar, but this first grant would be phase 1. This would be only from Briar Hill to Great Scott, to allow our residents at Briar Hill to get safely to the grocery store. Phase 1 would also include 5 feet on both sides of Poe, from the intersection of Poe and 18 all the way to East Water Street. This will allow, again, our residents to get to the store, but also, this is phase 1, also want to connect Eagle Landing, I want to connect Loves to Great Scott. I want to be able to, I want to take the whole thing village pretty much, all the way to Slippery Elm and our parks, up South Tar. I have a lot of ideas with that, but this grant would not be, if we were to get accepted for this grant, construction would not start until 2029. But I think this would be a great start, great future planning, long-term planning we can get done. And
How much would that cover?
the grant, the specifics again, was 80-20 maybe a little more match. I think we can use grants, I believe, in addition to our side of things. So we also save up for it over time.
Sure.
I think our sidewalk assessment we use towards that, even parts aspects of it. So that's one of my goals with that.
Do we have a long-term plan on paper? Do we have a 5, 10, 15, 20-year plan?
I don't believe so.
Of
That's
projects, of things we want to do, of growth?
There used to be
Spoken,
5-year.
but we haven't.
That's something I kind of want to get done also.
Because I feel like we're getting...
We're kind of shooting from the hip in many ways.
Shooting from the hip, in my experience, is nothing's going to get done. We're going to talk about this, talk about that, build this, build that, splash pads, buildings, sidewalks. I think we need to have and then yourself, Mason, everyone's rowing the boat in the same direction. And we're like, hey, we're going to focus on this and on this, and then 10 years down the road we want to do this, so what do we need to do now to get prepared for that 10 years down the road kind of thing. I really think we need to think about getting everyone collecting ideas and start getting this charted out, because my brief experience seems to be we're kind of all over the place right now.
I agree with that.
That includes technology, it includes everything. Like, is there a lease option out there? I mean, every meeting I feel like we're just getting a bunch of new stuff in.
Yes.
We're not getting anywhere.
And I agree with everything you just said.
Okay.
Everything. I think in the way I've interpreted how the village has operated for quite a while, at least my position, is just that. We just try to get through when things come up. There's been no real long-term strategies developed.
Yeah.
I mean, now that we have Mason, I think we have more bandwidth to actually get something like that done.
Yep.
Along with community input on what they want to see from
100%.
from all this. So,
And
yes, the short answer is yes, we got to do it.
I will say, last year when we did the budgets, we did implement, like, for each of the departments, that they are appropriating money in advance for future replacements, like radios and vests and EMS equipment and stuff. So we made sure that we addressed that with the department heads to make sure. So that was the beginning of it, but that's about where the ball dropped.
Yeah.
So we could have a committee meeting to begin that process, to begin a 5 and 10 year plan.
But going back to that, because we're kind of always thinking short term, trying to get our job done short term, it's probably limited us in our ability to grow, to develop the village. So it's definitely a problem that needs to be addressed, I would think.
Yeah.
Hey, Phil.
I understand.
Well, I will volunteer to be a part of that and gather information, data from all the people that we need to talk to, like all our chiefs. And then eventually I think we need to have some kind of survey for our residents. That's who we are and that's who we work for.
We might have to use a consultant to really get this taken care of. And
That's
Right,
fine.
survey
I think,
have.
my experience with consultants is, they're consultants. I think I'd volunteer to be a part of the internal thing, but I agree, like, when we go to the community, probably a consultant would be a good idea. I'm pretty sure if I asked any of our chiefs what they want in the next 5, 10, 15, what do they see their vision, they could probably lay that out probably pretty fast for me, because they're probably always thinking about it.
Right.
We turned that in. That's what we turned in last year.
That's what I was saying, that's
Yeah,
what we did for.
yeah,
the
like that
children's.
kind of stuff. I'm thinking even bigger things, like, do they need a
Right.
new home? Do they need to, you know, more, do they envision more people? What's our village growth plan? Things like that.
Well, the best thing would be to then to have a committee meeting and have our department heads there.
Sure.
You wouldn't have to stay for the whole thing, we could, you know, schedule them in every 10 minutes or something like that.
That'd be great.
Talk to them and get them, and that way they wouldn't have to stay for the whole
Agree.
meeting, but. I
Pieces
agree.
of that also could come from from doing some listening at our economic development dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably been in the back of your mind, Josh, because it's thinking of the speaker and ideas, so forth.
Everything's on my mind all the time.
I know. Well, we appreciate
lot.
it.
Okay, if you wanna get with Josh to set up that meeting.
That'd be great.
that
I'll
would
work
be-
with, I'll take that, I'll work with Josh, we'll get something set up.
Yep, let us know.
We need a lot of, like, data gathering
Mhm.
to kind of get an idea of what people's thoughts are, because I've heard a lot of different things since my short time here, from a lot of different people.
I want to guide our future council members, you know, in some way. Say, hey, we already worked on this, let's build up on that, and they should be able to finish it at the very least.
Yep.
Okay, we're gonna move on. Oh, yeah, so,
Can I suggest that we get more than just one person to do a committee on any of these software packages that we're buying? Because I've been here, coming to these meetings since like 1982. And every time we get new administrators, new finance guys, new this, new that, our software that the last group just got is now no good. And then the software before that is no good. Just like we just bought computers, how many years ago? From the same company we're gonna buy them now. Now, if this company didn't foresee, because I'm sure this whole thing didn't just drop a ball right now and say, computers have to be done by a certain date. They just sold us computers within like the last 4 years throughout this place.
Not every computer. My computer, for example, does not need to be replaced.
Well, 10, I mean, we're,
The service-
majority.
The serviceable life on a computer is only 5 years.
Yeah.
After that, it's really not worth anything.
But they're giving deadlines, though. I don't understand that.
Well,
I mean,
they're giving deadline based off of Microsoft's deadline. It's
Yeah.
Microsoft we're going off
Microsoft,
of, not,
It seems like if we do this, like, I mean, I've listened to this every time.
Well, it's because we're at the mercy of the software companies, right? Because what they're doing is making their software only run with the new technology. So, the old technology is not gonna accept that new software, which forces us to continue to upgrade our hardware. As we upgrade our software, it is a vicious cycle that we are caught in. That's why Bill Gates and Elon Musk are bazillionaires.
In case you didn't see my email, you'll be getting a new computer, by the way.
I don't need new computers.
You have to get
You
one.
do,
have
because of the
to.
software.
We aren't on anything with the village. We're
You
on
have to.
web-based programs.
Yeah, Microsoft 365.
I'll show you the, I sent an email earlier today, actually, it's an Excel document.
Which computers?
I'll have to actually check the computer.
Because the two in the bunk rooms that the guys use are brand new, just a year ago.
Is it the one out?
In the bay?
In the bay, yeah.
Well, that's my older one, but I just put that there because somebody may be sleeping when a person comes back from a run, they can type their report, but we're all web-based. I'm not on the server.
All right, well, maybe we can,
I mean, save some money.
I'll think about it.
Or I'll take a new computer, but.
Your Tandy TRS-80 is not gonna.
No, they're not that, they're newer than that, I mean.
I know streets needs one, sewer department needs one, you need one, police department needs like two,
I
I
was
think.
just same sentiments. I was like, I don't need a new computer. Mine is over. Mine was 5 years in May.
Yeah,
On
basically-
May of 2020.
I just hear a lot of money being spent.
Yeah,
I'm trying to
I
think.
agree. Finance side, it's like-
I mean, I'll go back to Bill, there's a lot of things we had never done, but all of a sudden we can do this. I'm starting to get a little frustrated here.
Just like
Big time.
the body cams that somebody brought up,
We
like
never gonna do anything.
a managed service where we're leasing this equipment, cause I get it, I've always been that way too, I don't lease a car, like, I buy computers and buy cars and all that stuff. But in 3, 4, sometimes 2 years, that computer is just a giant paperweight. There's gotta be companies that we need to look into that offer, you know, you're gonna lease the computer, at least we know what we're going to pay every month, and we're gonna get those software updates, and then when that equipment needs replaced, it's just part of our monthly fee instead of, cause it sounds like you're hearing a lot from being in these meetings all these years, and you guys have been around forever. Oh, we need $8,000 for this, we need $10,000 for this, we need $20,000 for this, like, I know leasing is a bad word, but maybe in this technology space, like the body cams, computers,
Well,
office solution.
The thing is I don't think we're gonna have a choice when it comes to the police department, because
Yeah.
they've got their racket. They have decided
Yeah.
that we're not gonna offer, apps that allow you to do the redaction and do
Yeah.
these body cams. We're gonna put it into our lease, and then that way you can use it there.
Yeah.
We're kind of a creek without a paddle, and that's what I'm saying, we're gonna have to look at that, and we may have to go with something like that.
Yeah.
Which really, when you look at 60,000 for 5 years, that's not a whole lot more than what you're talking about now, but you're getting the body cams and
And you know what
they're
you're paying for
replaced if
5
they're
years,
broken.
instead of 2 years down the road, they tell you that what you have is useless now.
Right.
And you gotta throw it away and get
Right,
something new.
where they'll replace them or,
Yeah.
take care of them.
Tech always breaks.
Yeah, right, so if there's a way that we can get into where we pay them a fee and they manage it, they give us the computers, they manage the software, you know, that, it might be a little sticker shock at first, but at least we know and we can budget what we're paying for versus getting all these surprises. Cause there's always surprises in the tech world, and it's a tough pill to swallow. So something to think about instead of buying, and I do that in my own personal life. I know about you guys buy iPads, all that, it's useless in 5 years, right?
Well, I mean, I think we do need to get new computers for sure.
100%.
Up here
But maybe there's a
at
part
least.
of a managed system, that's all I'm saying, that comes with the software we need and all that.
If that software includes 2 new computers for the police department, I'd love to look into that.
I think it's worth asking, and maybe we get out of the buying stuff business that's not worth anything.
Yeah, I also want to bring up, it's not just police redaction software. I think we have to lease our tasers soon, along with other things.
Those, yeah,
So
those are old.
Everything's going up in price.
They were bought used.
It's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
They got the crank handles,
Lease
you
up
get the.
tasers.
They were bought used.
See them going.
Okay.
All right, we're going to move on, if there's no other questions, we're gonna move on to personal policy and ordinance. Dave, what you got for us?
Guys, good stuff. So Josh reached out to Paul Scaff, and as you guys can see on page 25, that is basically the process we are going to have to follow to go ahead and repeal the original cannabis ordinance to be able to change that.
Correction on that, if I may. Actually, that email is actually in regards to a different ordinance to include adult cannabis operators and dictate where principally or conditionally which districts it would be put in.
Where it can be up.
Yeah, so it's gonna be a separate ordinance. The first ordinance, we're gonna continue reading. It just gets rid of the prohibition, which I will like to bring up again. I'm not sure if everyone saw that email I sent. Basically, in my opinion, that prohibition was not necessary because it was already prohibited because it was not mentioned in our zoning code. So there was, in my opinion, no need for that prohibition because again, if it came across my desk and what they were trying to do in a certain district was adult use cannabis operating, whatever it's called, it's not even mentioned, it's not even defined in our zoning code, so it's automatically prohibited. It's not allowed. But I can't go forward with planning commission and going through with a new ordinance until we get rid of this existing prohibition. That, again, is kind of redundant, but still, we have to get rid of this first before I go about with the ordinance on the back of that, which I already created, on page 26. This is my, oh wait, no, Dan, no. You know what, I forgot to add that one actually. It was in the email though. It was in the email.
That I can't read.
Yeah.
So many documents.
Becky would have that on there.
Becky would have that.
Number 26 is the next thing, but,
first
so I already have an
one.
ordinance created, I believe I sent to everyone in council anyways over the weekend. Or before that, but basically, I was thinking B2 would be the district, and I also, this would also add defining adult use cannabis, which is going to be the same as what the state defines it as.
Can you define where B2
Yes,
is?
of
Because
course.
there was a question on Water Street that the mayor brought up, and I'm just wondering, I
The
was
light
a little
blue
confused
is
on that.
B2 General Business District. That's where I'm leaning towards.
And where's that exactly located?
All this is B2, and
It doesn't clear
I
75.
think there's some up here, but I believe it's too close to school, so
Is
it's
that on Water
technically
Street?
not allowed.
Is that the one he was
East
pointing to?
Water Street. East Water Street, there, as far as I know, there is no B2 there, but also ORC does kick in if, I think it's 500 feet. You can't be from a park or a
And that
school.
is next one, right?
I think anything in East Water Street over here, from like maybe Maine or Tar all the way through is pretty much not going to be allowed.
So this is over by 75 in this?
Yes,
Okay.
most of it's 75 off that. Again, we don't have any developers knocking on our door right now, so I think we're in a big rush. So I think we can just go through this process, go through planning commission, make sure we get their input on where they think it's best. It should not be just me anyways, be planning commission's input, and then they recommend to council what we should do basically with the adult use cannabis, where it should operate, et cetera. So I could be completely missing something too.
Well, I would like to know, because that's one of the things we talked about.
Right,
It was
was to
B2,
make-
that it would be over by or I won't vote for it. So I need to know that
Well, I need your
ahead
vote,
of time.
so.
Well, then you need to get me
No,
the
I'm sorry.
information ahead of time.
Dave Richmond needs your vote.
I have a question. We have some
Don't
residents that
call
are taking time out of their
them.
schedule to be here.
Dave
Of course.
Richmond does not
I need
your
B2.
vote.
That's fine.
Well, that's what we're trying to do.
Right,
is
yes.
make sure.
Do you guys have any
I have a
feedback
major-
on this?
I have a major concern with being able to sell cannabis in town. We're a residential community. I mean,
Yep.
we're a bedroom community. I know we want more industry. We totally need that. But right now, we're still a bedroom community. And you can go to Finley, you can go to Bowling Green. I don't know why we need it here.
Great. Anybody else have anything about it?
I'm just against it personally, so of course I don't see a need for it as well, so.
Sure.
I'm not sure.
Should we close the bars down?
We have far fewer now than when I grew up here, Dave, just like you.
I grew up here too, and
So we
yeah,
have far fewer now.
there's far fewer bars and far fewer people. We're about 1,000 people short of what we used to be.
And I don't think it was the bars that did it, and I don't think the cannabis will bring them back.
And that
But
was
it
one of
won't
the
bring
reasons.
tax money, not only to the town, but to the school.
But is it worth the risk? It's a gateway drug.
And there are a few of us on council that agree with this. But
And there's a
here's-
few of us that don't.
Right.
Yeah, that's
And-
right.
And here's
We're
the
all
thing.
about our
Gateway.
Here's
Right.
the thing, if I may. That's one of the reasons, I'm not on board with it, to be honest with you, but I do believe it's probably gonna pass. So here's the thing. I wanna make sure that it's out by 75. I don't want it downtown.
Right, because if you look there, there is a blue, a little bit closer to town there on 18.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's what are you talking, where are you talking?
So that,
Oh, this?
Right there. Isn't that blue?
Yeah,
That would be B2, right?
There's that.
Where's that at? Is that?
What is that?
That's
probably
Briar
Hill.
Briar Hill.
I mean, I'm just saying.
Well, I mean, they might want it more than anyone.
They can give it legally.
Maybe that's the Damon
This map-
property.
This map is not up to date,
Ah,
because you still show
yeah.
the old
Oh, should I add
football
something
field
else
is
to the
on.
list? We're gonna put
The Damon property.
roller coaster.
So that map is not
On
up
the
to
to-do
date.
list, we do need to update it from 2019, I do agree, there is a couple
So is there
variations.
somewhere else that there's B2 that we don't know about?
I have a question for you. Would it?
That is something I will definitely make sure is accurate before I go to planning commission on.
But what my concern was is you wanted to go to planning commission and have them give us ideas on where it should be, and I'm saying, I don't want it downtown.
And I would
if it's-
definitely voice what you're saying right there.
But to me, that's not a guarantee that it's not gonna be downtown. You're saying that the planning commission will come back and tell us what they recommend. And I'm not in agreement with it. I'm in agreement with, we discussed it and we agreed that it would be out by 75.
I'm pretty sure, one second. Do you remember going through Paul's email real quick? The
I'll ask
council
you guys
scheduled a
why
public
he's doing
hearing on
that.
the PC recommendation,
Would
again,
it
with advanced.
change your
notice.
mind if it's just in the B2 by the highway? Mind if it's just in the B2 by the highway? Would that influence your decision at all if it was not in the village?
Not mine, only
Okay.
because I and Cindy, both of I come from the health field.
Sure.
So we've got a little
Understood.
bit different perspective on it, and we've seen, too many negative things
Sure.
from that.
I appreciate that.
So Dave, why don't you share what you shared with us at the original meeting as far as why you thought it was a disservice that we banned it in the first place?
The chief had a comment too.
Go ahead.
In all my years of law enforcement, EMS, and I know you all both nurses and stuff, and I don't know in ERs or what, but, I think this is better than people buying it from somebody's trunk, because that's the gateway drugs. Those drugs that come from people's trunks, that's the one that we don't know what's in it, because dealers want you on the other stuff. Coming from the state, at least it's regulated. I mean, I'm not for it either, but I'm willing to say, okay, if it's gonna help the town and we can have it out there, I'm saying, okay, because at least it's gonna be controlled. I don't like going to people's houses when they said all I did was smoke pot, and I gotta shove Narcan up their nose. That's the gateway drugs, that's the one that gets them, is the stuff that comes from the who knows where, China, all that stuff. So that's where I think David's right. If there's an opportunity to make some money, because we don't have, like you said earlier, the village residents voted down a raise that, we desperately need. Well, we can bring any revenue we can get outside of that, saves the residents and puts it on the back of some commercial. And if it's way out there, we even do better because people become off the highway and getting it.
And that's the thing, they're gonna come off the highway and get it, and they're gonna get back on the highway and go home. They're not gonna get off the highway, buy it, come into town, sell it. They're gonna buy it for themselves, and instead of going to Finley, instead of going to Bowling Green, they're gonna buy it from here. And that's gonna in turn put more money in our schools, put more money into the town. So we can do the things that the residents want, like fix the roads, fix the sidewalks, beautify the park, beautify Main Street. There's a lot of money to be had. And the health benefits of it are incredible. You may think that it's the devil itself, but it isn't. It depends on the individual. And it could come down to, I have a drink, I go crash my car, right? Or I have a drink, I beat up my wife, right? How many domestics do you go to where the guy got high and decided to beat up his wife? You don't. How many vehicle accidents are caused by marijuana? I guarantee it's significantly lower than alcohol. But since alcohol's been, since Prohibition in the 50s, has been legal, right? We've all accepted it as the norm, right? But since the paper industry decided that hemp, being a lot cheaper to produce and making better paper, was taking away from their business, then they lobbied to the government to get it as a Schedule I narcotic. It is no longer a Schedule I drug. It's off the schedule. It is viewed now as alcohol. And the only reason why the older generations look at it as it's still a gateway drug, it's still wrong, is because your brain was programmed to believe that.
if you actually went and took the time to educate yourself, you would see that it's really not as bad as you have been taught that it is.
Well, I'm happy to go and research it because I am very educated, so I'm happy to go and do that research, and I will gladly do that to see what it looks like. But I think I have the right to say a personal opinion
You
as
do,
to what I
and
want.
absolutely,
Absolutely.
for sure, and I'm not trying to sway that in
Yeah.
any way. All I'm asking you to do is educate yourself,
Certainly.
right? And you two very well-educated ladies, right? Give it an opportunity.
Mhm.
Just read the literature that's out there.
I have no trouble with medical marijuana. It's the recreational use that is what bothers me.
What
If
about-
someone needs it medically, not, you know.
What about the medical alcohol?
Actually, you can get an order for it in a nursing home.
Yeah.
So, I know you can.
Yep, you can, and you can
We
use
can
it
do
to clean a wound, right? But we're all okay with the public use. We're talking about opening up Main Street to walk around and drink it
That-
freely.
That blew me away. I'm like, what?
We're
We need
sticking
a
around for
door?
that.
That, like, I had no idea that was on the table till I saw it here, and I'm like, where did this come from? Where was that back in the day when we had how many bars? You know?
Well, we still
I don't
do
know.
it anyway.
So the process is planning commission, and then council will get a public hearing organized, and then it'll be discussed, obviously input from the public, and then there will be a council meeting to basically decide on pretty much the.
Paula, help me out.
Before the third reading,
How
you're
many
saying.
percent?
Before-
I mean, yeah,
Of the tax.
says council must then, at
35%
its
of
next
the tax.
regular meeting, vote on.
35%
each
wait,
of
day.
the
we got-
tax, not 35% tax.
Right.
The 35% of the tax stays local.
We need three
Stays
readings.
right here in North Baltimore.
Sales tax.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's tax rate, 7%.
No, not on
Not on
marijuana.
marijuana.
No, it's like 17-18%.
It's pretty high.
If not, I think Ohio's almost like 25-27.
Michigan's beating us in that one.
Okay. Again, all that's gonna take place before the third reading?
Yes, I think it has to, yes.
Okay. So we're gonna have whatever recommendation you want from zoning before the third reading.
What?
Because like.
Oh, yeah, well, there'll be a public hearing before reading it.
He already looked
Because like
at
I
your
said,
list,
it's
and I
not
know
me
you're
too,
going.
and there's been several people that said they wanted it by
Unfortunately,
75, so I think that
that's
needs
the
to
way
be
we've
locked
been
in
programmed, right? You grow up,
before the
you know,
third reading.
Nancy Reagan
I
made
think
sure.
we want it before the first round.
Okay.
Page 25 is that whole.
That's right.
Okay.
And I'm just,
That's
I'm
all,
just
that's
saying,
just my,
times
that's the only
change.
concern I have there.
Well,
Times
understood.
do change, I agree. And we also don't have a shelf in the side of town.
Okay, may I proceed? Next one is the section 4.04 work schedules and time off policies. This is just another area where we have the third reading on September 9th, so second reading is next week. I know we we put to do this emergency last council meeting, but it was decided not to go that route. I'm not sure if you haven't read it yet. This version is most up to date. There's not a mention of anyone working from home, because it does not really pertain to anyone working from home. That would probably be a different policy by itself. That probably should be created during COVID, to be honest. But
No, wait a minute, we did discuss that in the meeting, we aren't working from home.
yeah, there's not even a mention of it in this. I just want to make sure I stated that because of the last public meeting's comments.
Correct.
Yes.
Okay. Just so all the department heads are on the same
Yes.
page.
Yes, and we can definitely discuss what that looks like in any capacity in the future when we get to it. It's not right now. Too much on the plate, right? So, is there any comments regarding this version of 4.04 of our Personnel Policy and Procedure Manual?
No.
Okay.
All right,
Dave
are there
or
any other
Josh?
questions for Dave or Josh? All right, we are going to move on. Economic and Community Development, Bill?
The team at COTW, you already explained, right?
Yes, I did.
So I don't think we need to talk about that.
This will be emergency next Tuesday.
All right.
Application.
The DORA,
Also was discussed.
we discussed it.
I believe these guys are waiting for us to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, I was like,
Interested.
Interested.
Yeah,
I'm like, where
well, I
is
didn't
this
know about
coming
it,
from?
so.
Had no clue.
This is, something that Finley and Bowling Green both use. And, it just basically, I don't know that somebody needs to leave, the bowling alley and walk up to, Whistle Stop. But they can if they want, you know, and,
It's with the drink that they buy there in a specific cup, like, people aren't gonna be wandering the streets with
Beer bottles.
Yeah,
Right,
that's not,
yeah.
that's not what
Yeah,
this
we're
is.
familiar with what Dora is.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
It originally came about for the festival that they're
Yeah.
planning,
Oh, okay.
so that they would have that. And I'm in agreement for the festival. I don't see the reasoning for permanent at this point, because I don't understand. Are we gonna go to the library with our beer? Are we gonna go to the credit union with our beer?
Well, I still want to
What
talk
are
to
we-
Holly about maybe additional programming for adults.
Wine and cheese with a bookie.
No, because that's my, no.
So I'm
Again-
planning it.
Again, I gotta talk to
Yeah.
Holly
Not
about it.
planning it.
I'm a little
Historical Society,
confused
I
as to
mean,
why.
obviously you can have like something out there too.
I'm for
Property
it for
to
the,
what?
for
whole-
the
the
festival.
whole
I
idea
can
was
see why you would
for
want it
people to
in
be able to
place.
move from
I
beers
just,
and-
at this time, now
And
once,
to
if we can
actually-
get our
I get that.
economic
Yeah.
development and,
Yeah.
I mean, there's no window shopping downtown, there's
There's
no
no-
place
Yeah,
to
there's
sit,
no
there's
outdoor
nothing.
or-
So why don't we try it for the festival? Because here's the other thing.
We do have seven.
It states in there that we're gonna have officers on duty.
I could talk to Sean.
Okay, so we've got 2 officers on duty, but is that gonna hold them up from responding to other things if they're dealing with something on the sidewalks with Dora?
I guess
I just-
if there's nothing going on in town, who's gonna, other than to, if you get a drink at, let's say, the Eagles.
Right.
Ask them to put it in the Dora cup and you
Right.
walk down to the Whistle Stop. I mean, what are you gonna do
Well,
with that
but
one
that's what I'm
drink?
saying, what is the point? I'm just wondering what the point is. I can see what the point is for the festival. Right now, I can't see what the point is with the way our downtown is. If we get into the economic development and build our downtown up, we have seating, outdoor seating, we have, other restaurants, we have window shopping to do, businesses open. I could see it then. I can't see it now. I have really racked my brain on this to go, what is the point?
The way I see it is a small step forward, something we can do, pretty cost efficient, where we can get more business for Whistle Stop, for the Eagles, and for the bowling alley in a way, and then also promote if more bars or more companies, I think, would come to downtown. This could be a small, very small, which I mentioned, incentive also. So this is a way to increase commerce in some way and give our residents the ability to just be in the streets there.
There is nice, you can.
The festivals, obviously,
It does,
we wait for that September 20th festival.
Right, and like I said, I'm for that. I would like to hear from our residents how you feel about it.
I mean, I guess I'm just confused. I mean, you have to be a member of the Eagles, and you have to be voted in by members of the Eagles. So it's not like anybody could, I can't just walk in the Eagles and get,
You
unless I know
cannot-
somebody there.
You can on good old summertime.
Okay, well, that's one
Well,
day.
yeah, that's
We're
a
talking,
festival.
this is
Yeah,
not just
right.
one day.
Right. And
So any other time of the year.
believe me, they're a lot more receptive to female.
Oh, actually, my
Non-members
husband
than they are
became
to
a member so that he could bowl with them. But, I mean, it's like, you can't just walk in there. So really, you're talking about 2 establishments right now on opposite sides of the railroad tracks, where we used to have the Drug and Alcohol Treatment Center kind of in the middle, but I think it looks like they've shut down. So are we promoting something that we were trying to help alleviate?
What are we trying to alleviate?
Well, the
ORC
Drug
only
and Alcohol
needs,
Treatment Center that was right there at the old B&N. It looks like they're gone because there's nothing going on there. So, they're in the middle of these 2 establishments. You're saying, let's openly walk around with and who covers the cost of these cups? How are these manufactured? How many do we have to get? Who covers that cost?
so, based off of what I've heard from how other places run Bowling Green, for example, the village would pay for them and then sell them at cost basically to the establishment.
So now, all the residents are gonna have to pay for they'll recoup the cost.
Yeah.
But upfront, that cost is something that
That's how it's done
everyone's
elsewhere,
gonna
from what I
have to pay
understand.
for. Well, they didn't wanna pay for our roads, do they really wanna pay to take a drink between two places?
Yeah, they would.
Yes.
That's
I
probably
would.
not nice to say.
I do it in
I'm
Bowling
sorry.
Green.
I see it for the special activities
Yes.
to start with.
Yes.
And maybe
Yeah.
see how that goes.
Yeah.
But I guess to promote it for just basically the two establishments right now, we're not a college town, is it really gonna fly or bring in the people?
Again, this is a small step. I'm not,
Yes.
I'm not
Oh, yeah,
gonna
no,
put it in
no.
front of you as something we gotta do for
Sure, no,
the
no,
village
no,
or.
but I certainly see it for the special
Yeah.
occasions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this special,
Start
whatever
it that
this
way and
is
see.
that they're planning,
Yeah, see how that goes.
And I would agree with that. I don't know where everyone else is, but that's what I would agree with, so.
And
I'm not a drinker, so I don't care.
September, next week is.
Would council be, let me ask, would council be on board with just doing it for the festival now?
I just don't see why it would hurt having it all year long, because I mean, how many people are really gonna
It'd be
do it?
Monday
I
through
mean,
Saturday.
you're gonna get,
I see a benefit, actually, because I think it creates it, and I'm like Dave, I'm not a drinker at all. I see that it creates kind of a culture, it's a friendliness that maybe could help in some small ways spur more downtown.
Yeah, our downtown needs a little assistance, and that's a small nudge.
Oh, yeah.
That's the biggest thing, is we need to revitalize.
Well, here's the thing though,
our-
if we do it for
Oh, sure.
the festival and it does well, if we have interest of other businesses coming into town, you can present that to them, that, you know, council would consider doing the Dora. But at this point, I just don't see what the point is.
Okay.
I mean, we've got, like she said, 2 establishments, and that's it.
I
Really, I mean, we got 3, but 2 that are gonna be open to the public, basically. I would like to know if council would be just on board to do it for the festival.
Informal vote?
Pardon me?
Informal vote, non-binding.
We can't do that now, but, you know, we could.
We're not even allowed to pretend to vote right now.
No.
Okay.
No.
We could take a consensus.
A consensus, I just need to know if I should put this down as festival only, or Monday through Saturday, 11 to 11,
I
as
would be festival
originally
only.
stated in the.
That's where I would stand, would be festival only, and you're all welcome to voice your opinions as well.
We do a second reading next week, we could always change it after more discussion then, for the emergency reading on the third reading, or do emergency, so we can be on, don't wait 30 days after, because again, we have a festival on September 20th that the mayor is putting together, and we should know more about
Well,
it
it can be
after
changed,
Thursday.
you can change the
and
wording.
it's really not a vote if you just say,
Yeah,
hey,
that's what we-
Right, that's what I'm just saying,
I'm-
everybody just voice their opinion.
I'm all
but don't
time,
vote.
she's
Yeah.
festival, so, I mean, that's why,
I'm good for Monday through Saturday, year round.
Dave?
I'm good all the time.
All the time.
Paula?
Doesn't matter.
Okay, abstain. Apologize, but we are going to continue to do Monday through Saturday as currently written in this ordinance. And I did not include the DORA in front of medical rehab, drug rehab center for, well, because it doesn't make sense to put
Do you
that
know-
ability in front of there.
Do you know, are they closed? Did they close that thing?
I have not checked. I drove past there
It's
yesterday,
closed.
didn't
They're
notice.
close. They're close.
It's
Good.
closed. Well, now that it's closed, I might expand the door to the right there.
I'm sorry,
There goes the reason to not put it there, so.
I knew how that place worked, and
I probably will keep it out, so just so we're so far ahead. We have a surveyor coming, I think tomorrow to help us with that. Okay, are we done with DORA talk?
Yep.
Cannabis talk and.
Okay, so we are going to, any other questions for
I sit at work
Bill for
and it's just a
How
habit.
for
dare you
economic
kick me.
development?
going once, going twice, any
We're
questions?
gonna move
for me?
on.
Nope.
Administrator, do you have anything else you want?
Yeah, so thank you for asking. .gov update, as you may be aware from our previous reports, I'm moving the village to .gov. Basically, it's free from the federal government, and it enables us to be, well, legit basically. Doesn't get blocked by spam blockers as much, so it's better communication. Also, our emails are currently using .net, Our website, we're using .org. If you emailed Dave Richmond at northbaltimore.gov right now, it would actually go to him because it's kind of set up already. Our website is now.gov, so it's already official. But in time, we will stop paying for this .net and .org stuff, and we'll save money in the long run because we don't got to pay anything for .gov. And also, again, one singular northbaltimore.gov makes a little more sense than all this other crap. So it's pretty simple. I already went through it. We're doing the final turnover, I guess you could say, with Intech, with our servers and all that soon.
Will it always go to .gov from .net?
For the next year or so. We will determine when we cut it off.
We have to figure out everybody you gave that email to.
Well, there's that too. That's why we have a year to really get it done. So once the official stuff is done with their servers, then I'll start really telling you and everyone else to, hey, maybe switch your login information from .net to .gov, which is a big thing for me. We have a lot of logins. But and then our new business cards I'll be creating for myself and Mason, and all them will have .gov on it going forward once I get those all kind of designed. So pretty simple. I think big plus going forward. Kind of just common sense in my mind. I found it weird coming here that we were still on .net and .org. We're going to do that. That's simple. And then planning commission update, slowly getting that all figured out. I know way back in the day, it probably used to be once a month, maybe with Allison or Donna. I kind of want to go back to maybe not that much, maybe once a quarter or so. There's a lot of updates I would like to make to our zoning code I've seen. We also need to do planning commission for stuff like lot splits or lot merges, which I want to do with the park. I know Sydney already brought it up, that we have like 300 parcels. I like to combine a lot of those to make it make sense and don't have as many tax bills to alleviate Matt here a little bit. And then Loves is also planning to expand westward, and we need planning commission to help determine or approve basically them building that street directly north of the drive.
To finally straighten out that intersection.
That is the goal, yes. And the current entrance would basically be a automobile only, right turn right only, so not trucks. That's the goal at this point. And I'm also going to have them probably put in an MUP 10-foot path to kind of start where my vision was described earlier, going across that too. So they've been great to work with. I just got to get the planning commission all set up. It's taking some time to really get back up and running. But the mayor, obviously, council appointed Tim, and he recently appointed, under his authority, what's his name? Zach Leeper, I want to say. So planning commission is set. I have everyone. I just need to pretty much get my ducks in a row and get it organized and have meetings. So that's to be had. And that's the end of my report.
All right, any questions for Josh? All right, we're going to move on to finance officer, Matt.
Yeah, it's page 39 in your packet. Put a list of some things I'm going to have on the ordinances for next meeting. First one, discussed previously, received the final payment from Eagleville, so that showing that there, $52,800 total from that contract. EMS had carry over $18,600, so all that money is to be moved to the capital fund, which is on your report. Would be the report. You don't have the report here tonight, but that fund number 4905. So it's moving that, transferring that money over to the EMS capital fund. Currently has 39,000 and change, so it'll take it up to around 110,000. Something that's been done in the past, so it's not anything new. It just has maybe a little more money due to the revenue gain from the Eagleville contract. So just bringing all this up tonight, because like I said, there's going to be ordinances, that one can go the full 3 readings, choose. The next ones are the assessments, which are done yearly. I guess before I move on to the next assessment, anybody have any question on the transfer of funds for the EMS? And I'll group all these assessments together. If anybody have any questions, as we go. The tree maintenance assessment, we'll have the first reading on our next meeting, and then essentially the second reading will be the final reading because there's a due date that needs to be turned into the county auditor. So that'll be the discussion today, is if anybody has anything concerning the dollar amount. So tree maintenance proposing $22,000, the same as last year. Street cleaning proposing $86,000, the same as last year. Street lighting proposing $78,000. That is $8,000 higher because our February settlement we got in March, that account was down to $2,000. So that's the reasoning for raising it. So for the street lights, any questions on those 3? Moving forward, I'm going to have an ordinance submitting delinquent utility accounts to the county auditor for property tax assessment. This has been neglected for a while, so I should have them already by then. I can't tell you the exact number that'll be on there as far as assessments, but I'll have it at the next meeting. I don't have the number of property owners or the dollar amount yet, but I would expect it to be probably under $10,000, somewhere in there. But I don't know for sure right off the top of my head. Gonna have an ordinance submitting the grass mowing assessment to the county auditor. That was done last year, so it'd just be the grass that's been mowed since that assessment went to the county auditor last September. And then actually there'll be more information at the meeting. It'll actually show who all is getting assessed and how much in that paperwork. Any questions on any of that so far? The supplemental appropriations, that's just going to be, was just not enough budgeted for healthcare costs. I believe that's to do with public works. It'll be on the sheet that everybody receives. Transfer to the EMS, there may be a few more with some of the other things we're talking about today, the computers and so forth. So, moving down, we already talked about Mayor's Court. I don't think really anything, Mayor's Court software. Not really. I guess one thing what's mentioned in there, I didn't mention it before. The initial cost was a little over $10,000, hoping to get down to $6,000, but after that, it's $865 per year, which I think that's less than this thing, but you gotta get past that transfer over. I put on here Jackson Township EMS contract. Phil and I, we just been talking some with them. There's not really much to report now, but there's just a possibility that we may be providing some EMS coverage to them. And
which one's Jackson?
If we do, that may become an emergency measure depending on exactly when the idea would be starting the first of the year.
And their contract with B&B and stuff, it could happen, boom.
We've been I don't know when we meet with them, 3 months ago. So it's like we've been talking, but then just waiting for them to really come back to us and see if they're going to move forward with what we proposed. So that would have been the mayor, Phil, and I have been in discussion on that. Star Ohio to investment, we had a gentleman from Meter and a gentleman from Charles Schwab a few months ago talk about the possibility of moving some funds. Sure everybody heard by now, Federal Reserve decided to hold rates steady in July. Moving forward, they may cut them. I just don't know if anybody has any Eric's new, but, we have money in Star, Ohio, pays well. I'd have to look up, it's gonna be somewhere around 4.45% right now. You'd have it liquid next day, and we have money in portfolios. We were looking at maybe moving some of the money discussing the idea of moving some of the money from Star, Ohio to the portfolios to try to lock it in. But, maybe previously, maybe we thought interest rates were gonna drop somewhat quickly, and they're going back 6-10 months ago, and things just seem kinda like, maybe everybody's just kinda waiting to see what happens right now. So, that's just where the thoughts are at, is trying to gain a little more gain on the investment. But, so it's just something that was brought up previously, so I don't know if anybody has anything to add to that, or really anything I have on that list, so.
Appreciate the hard work.
Keep plugging away. Chloe and Mason are working out well. Discussed that some earlier, so yeah.
Any questions for Matt? Do we need to address the Star, Ohio and setting anything up? I know we had them come in and talk to us, and it was kind of debated back and forth as to which company we would go with, if we would change anything. Is that something that we need to address in the near future?
If we choose to, I mean, the other thing is just leaving it in Star, Ohio. If interest rates drop, their rates going to drop with it relatively. It stays pretty close in line.
That's what I'm saying. Would you suggest that maybe we transfer some of it and lock it up, or are you thinking we should keep it in Star, Ohio, and just continue doing business as is?
It's a gamble now.
Yeah, I mean they're both really relatively safe because we're a public entity. So there's not like a great risk, which means maybe the return's gonna be minimized. I can see it either way.
If you had a crystal ball and interest rates were gonna drop, go with me here, and interest rates were gonna drop in September, would you recommend taking some of that money?
Probably wouldn't be a bad idea.
Is my
When we
opinion,
discuss
I believe
numbers,
interest rates will drop, whether it'll be September or not.
I
believe
think they will before the end of the year.
Right.
If you want.
I'd like to go with one thing what the mayor said. It was talking about it, if we lock it up, and we wanna do a road project, what hopefully we start doing. That money's locked up, we're gonna have to pay a penalty to get it out, where Star, Ohio, it's liquid.
Right.
Next day, we get it.
And maybe we don't do all of it, how much was in it?
I would say $2 million to move. The two portfolios, I'll look it up, they're a little over $5 million, I think, combined. The Charles Schwab and the Deere accounts. But, if I was to make official recommendation, before we were talking, I don't have the paperwork in front of me, I think we were saying up to $5 million at that time. Maybe somebody else remembers different, but if I was to make a recommendation now, maybe not as much. I think kind of going back to Tim's, wouldn't have as much tied up.
Anyone else have any input?
No.
Okay.
There's not really a
I
wrong
do,
answer.
I do, but, I mean, how long did it take us to do Broadway? Right, so what if we tie up some money for 3 years, so what? I mean, we got something lined up to do the next road?
But you also gotta think too, we're saving, or we're investing here, right? But, I mean, the people of North Baltimore is not really, they want things done, right? They don't want us to invest their money.
Well, we're not a holdings company, right?
Yeah,
Right.
let's spend the money, what they're giving us in tax money, let's not put it, we gotta be safe, right? Smart with the money, but to me, I think we need to, let's get this stuff moving, let's get these projects moving. We got money, tax money, let's spend it,
Well, I'm right there with you.
You're correct, but the thing you gotta keep, separate is, this money is invested.
Yes.
But, we can only.
Water
pay for-
department, you can't
Yes,
spend.
we can only pay for roads out of the road fund. So naturally, we have enough for East Broadway and Water Street Bridge, but they're gonna bring everything down.
I'm going mostly off our general fund. I mean, our general fund is, we're what, 2 million?
2.4 today.
I mean,
I got it,
at one point, we were at 300,000, right? Which was bad. We needed to grow it, but, this is $2 million, let's just say we keep it at $1 million for a safety net, but we shouldn't be saving this money. We should be spending it on the things we need here in town, so.
the appropriate expenditures.
And I will spend that money as much as you give me.
Well, on the right things, what this council wants to spend.
I'll still be driving
That's why we're changing your.
I'm just saying.
That's right, that's why we're taking you down to
My main
$500.
focus is gonna be on residential streets, so
Especially
Well,
that's.
I'm not gonna
that's
do
a
that
big
now. Residential streets is gonna be my main focus going forward. Getting the
Because
debt down.
that is deferred maintenance.
Mm.
Every year we put that out, that's deferred maintenance. If you figure out the cost of that versus your $1 million, we're in the hole still. Because it actually costs you more. Your deferred maintenance is higher than your balance. And that's the way you figure out your budgets in the real world. But we don't have no idea what our deferred is right now in this village. Have no idea. How many millions do we need to actually go through?
Oh.
That's your deferred.
A lot of millions,
Yeah.
that's the answer.
But we don't keep track of that, and we don't know it,
Yeah.
so it's hard to make these decisions about if you're gonna put it in over here to draw interest, or you're gonna put it on the streets. That's a tough one, man.
Right now, we're getting quotes from consultants to do pavement condition ratings for our streets.
Oh.
I'm getting traffic counts from TMACOG, using their free interns. And.
Ask them to throw numbers with it if they can, just
yes,
ballpark numbers.
Yes, and I'm also going to get illumination audit probably done, and we already did a free sidewalk trip hazard audit that was done. So I'm collecting all the data now, and I'm going to council eventually once I have all the data, and we have applications for grants to get done. Obviously, be matches. That match would be probably coming from what we're discussing now. Right. That's kind of what I'm getting at. So again, if you give it to me, I will spend it.
And we haven't given it to you, just to clarify.
As you guys are aware, this town has some areas that need assistance.
Okay, any other questions for Matt? We are going to move on.
Can you do my
I'm sorry?
You're a little late.
I am. I haven't talked over.
Mayor, under Mayor, we have all events permit application. Do you know what that is in regards to?
Yeah, I added that. That's just for the closing down the streets for September 20th festival that he will hopefully discuss more in the future.
All right.
Just wanted to know what he has or will submit. I can't remember exactly, but yeah.
Okay, we'll put that in the agenda for Tuesday when you're ready.
Yeah.
Anything else anyone needs to discuss or comments to be made? And this meeting is adjourned. All comments.
I thought it was gonna be at least 10 o'clock.
I'll try.